Things have to change, and they have to change right now. My sole and exclusive
What is going on?
is to go to work for you.
I'm seeing
Time to deliver
a lot of Trump vibes going
We
on.
don't win anymore, but we are going
So I'll
to
tell you
start
this.
winning again.
The Democrats will never catch me slipping again. I will guarantee that to you. The Democrats will never catch me slipping again. I'm not calling anything. I'm not saying anything. Those MFers will do whatever they need to do. Watch another pipe burst or some stupid stuff. They already said some states are going late. So it looks like my prediction is wrong. That my prediction is wrong, though. Kamala Harris is not going to get some type of fake mandate. My thought was that Kamala Harris would get a mandate. And the mandate would be, she would win on election night. That ain't happening. And it looks like Republicans are going to take the Senate. So there's no mandate coming for Ms. Harris. It doesn't even look like a victory. I looked at the New York Times. I believe the New York Times, is that what he's looking at there? No, it kind of looked like that. The New York Times had their probability at 88% last time I saw on their website of a Trump victory. So it's looking so far like this is, you couldn't really ask for a better night to this point for Donald Trump. But what really is the nuts and bolts is everything that happens now. This is when it was stolen last time, basically. The whole thing was rigged from the beginning to before the election, but this is the time when things get kind of hairy. Let's listen to young Nicholas J. Fuentes.
His way.
I want to go around and get a vibe and see who's going on. So I'm going to jump into Nick, see what he's up to. Nick's going to be streaming for a while because we're not going to get... here's what I will say. I think that there was some picture of Destiny as a cuck. That joke is just never gets old. But I think Trump needs to do a victory speech tonight. So he needs to have his writers do it. I wish it was Steve Bannon with Stephen Miller again, but whoever, Jason Miller is terrible. I think Jason Miller is a terrible speechwriter, but he's doing what he wants to do. But get the victory speech I'm sure it's already prepared. Get that ready so you can get that going. And that's gonna be we're gonna be here for a while. I got coffee. We're gonna be here for a minute. We're not gonna get I don't think we're gonna get a final, obviously, projection for the night. But let's listen to see what Nick's talking about here.
Back to normal. January 6th happens. Surely Trump must be finished this time. He's never coming back from this. And then Trump grabbed back. He grabbed back. And they said, but he said they're poisoning the blood of our country.
Why am I getting a delay?
He said it's the last election. He said he'll be a dictator on day one. But he stormed the Capitol. Dude, and then Trump wins again. Imagine the powerlessness and the helplessness.
Damn, it sounds like from Nick's vibe, he's already counting the victory. He got the W locked up. Not that that's what he was wanting to, but he's not against Trump either. So, but it sounds like he's locking up that W. I ain't ready to do that at all. I'm not even close to locking up a W. Let me go and see. This time, MSNBC is not letting you. I didn't see I was watching MSNBC on TV, but I don't see it. I don't like Fox News. I like MSNBC. They got the Steve Kornacki Cam, but I actually want the normal stream. Damn, you can't get the normal stream? They got the results. Let's go into the Kornacki Cam. It's better than nothing, but with their
points, it's been getting leaps and bounds more Democratic. Look what happened in Loudoun County tonight. What had been a 25-point win for Joe Biden comes down to a 16-point win. And again, Trump needs to be improving to win Virginia, on average by about 10 points in these counties. He comes very close to it there in Loudoun County. Take a look, Prince William County. This is a very densely populated and a very diverse county. Again, significant Hispanic population.
Very famous Loudoun County. We've talked about many times on the show.
Just about all in there in Prince William County. Virginia Beach, we still have a lot of vote to come in Virginia Beach. And this is one, this is where Joe Biden won by 5. This is one when Glenn Youngkin became governor. He flipped and won. And Trump right now leading this by 6 points. Again, that would be an 11-point shift here. There's a lot of areas here.
Only 35% in there.
Even better in if you were actually going to overtake Harris here. But the fact that it's this late at night and Trump has made gains that have held this so much so far, it's significant. It's part of why that popular vote is maybe a bigger lead this hour than you thought Trump would have. Bigger reason, though, is this. This is why I raised it. New York, look, it's been called. Harris is going to win New York. Her margin is 12 points. Check this out. In 2020, it was 23 points for Joe Biden. With nearly 90% of the vote in, Harris is only winning this by 12 points. Now, first of all, from a national popular vote perspective, Biden won this state by 2 million votes in 2020. The margin isn't yet 1 million, and we're getting close to all the vote in New York. And I want to zoom in a little bit closer here because I think this is significant. Let's look at New York City itself. The 5 boroughs of New York City, they're each their own individual county. And let me just show you what's happened here. Overwhelming Democratic city. Manhattan, the most liberal county in New York, a portion of New York, 86-12, a 74-point Biden win, down to 63. Trump's made double-digit gains in Manhattan. Take a look at Queens, 45-point Joe Biden win in 2020, down to 24, a 20-point net gain so far for Donald Trump in Queens, New York. Take a look over at Brooklyn. 55 has come down to 43. Staten Island's very small population-wise. It is the Republican borough of New York City. And you can see even there, though, Trump has gained a net of about 20 points with just about all the vote in there. And again, I flag that because we are seeing it in New York. Trump's gains with Hispanic voters, working class Hispanic voters. You're seeing it in New York City. It's being reflected in that statewide vote here, which has come down significantly. And even if you go
I'll tell you the thing about the Hispanic voters. You keep talking about abortion, and I don't know. I'm just speculating. That doesn't resonate with them. A lot of them are Catholics. They don't like that. Even if they're like me, where they say legislatively, okay, I get it. Even though for me personally, it's a disaster. Obviously a no. They can't stop talking about it, and I don't know if there's a backfire there. I don't know. I live by a lot of Latinos, so I live by a lot of. I'm in Colorado. There's Latinos crawling out the woodworks. They almost crawling out the sewers like Jews in New York. And I have not met any one of them that likes anything about a damn abortion. They don't like that topic. So that's not a good look. They don't like some of the funny stuff that Democrats do. They don't like that. Hispanics have big families. What's up, Loaded Wrench? It's been a minute. We haven't chatted in a minute. Great to see you. Yeah. Hispanic. It's just naturally. It's just built in. I've seen them all the time. They're in the car, no tags, sometimes no license plate, swerving on the road, not really good driving, not as bad as Asians, but it's the stereotype, but I see it. It's either the construction worker guy who has a ladder tied to his car with a dental floss, and it's going to fall out, so you try to get away from him on the highway, or it's a car with like 90 of them in there chilling. We could build. He's Latino. I didn't know you're Latino, Loaded Reggie's like, we could build like a motherfucker, though. No, for real. I have worked, not now, but I have in my past worked with a lot of Latinos, man. I always got along. I was in Dearborn with the Arabs. And they were cool, man. They were cool. I never really got in with them. They just, I talked to them at work and stuff, but they were really nice. I'm talking about they were from, Dearborn, Michigan is big with Palestinians and other Muslims. I worked in Ann Arbor, Michigan with Latinos. We did, I'm already rambling. We did moving. When I was younger, man, I keep thinking about that now, man. Moving, because, in college towns, you move a lot. And you got to take these bed frames and mattresses and box springs. And some of these people got money. So this stuff is heavy and good stuff. It's not like the cheap stuff. And some of the places didn't have elevators. So I'd be in there. It was a workout, man. I couldn't even do that now, but I was doing that with some Latinos. They were cool. They were good workers too. That's part of the reason why they want them in. They're good workers. But my parents are Jamaican, so we team up. We team up, Loaded Reds. We team up, and Jamaicans are known for working too. Loaded Reds said, "What did they expect? She only got 1% of the primary vote. Nobody likes her." Yeah, I agree. But see, that my thought process was, yeah, that's why they pushed her through. No, but they knew she wasn't going to get through. And I was like, if they're going to do that, they already know. There's nothing we know that they don't know. That's why Obama looked funny. That's why Obama was like, I don't really like this. So my impression was, well, then you got to cheat. I mean, why even swap Biden out if you're going to swap out for Kamala and you're not going to cheat? So I'm not ready to call this. Not at all. Not even close. You mess around, go to sleep, wake up, and maybe like, well, we found another batch. We're almost in the batches part of the night. Oh, there's a batch that hasn't been counted yet. Bitch, where'd the batch come from? Yeah, we're at that part of the night pretty soon, so I'm not calling anything. Let's hear what Steve's talking about if he's talking. They're not doing anything. They're looking at Wisconsin right now, 50% Trump, 69% in statewide. I still think the electoral college map, I think it still comes down to Pennsylvania. I still think a lot of it comes down to Pennsylvania. And we're not going to find Pennsylvania. We're not going to know Pennsylvania tonight. Not like this. If Kamala had a good night, they'd be ready to get Pennsylvania in. It's just I don't know the logistics and all that. Like Nevada, I know it's a lot tougher because the polls are still open. I think over there, believe it or not. They had to extend it. But so they're talking about Georgia now. Let's hear if he's just doing work. I don't think he's talking. Yeah. Damn, this dude he's got to work, man. He's making his money now. He's the best in the business. Steve Kornacki is the GOAT. This is the best coverage right here. You can see I'm still on it, even though I'm not listening to the anchors on the desk. North Carolina is what we're seeing on here. 88% in. 50% Trump is up by 146,000 votes with 90% reporting. Just depending on where those remaining votes are from. But we're obviously getting close to being able to call it. And at this point, it's not too close where you wouldn't see a call. And I have to do the math. But let's jump around and see what's going on with some of these other. I know Patrick Bet-David was supposed to do a big stream. Everybody's doing a big stream. Let's see what Patrick Bet-David's up to. He was supposed to do it in his new airport hangar. I think he literally in an airport hangar. He does it big.
And
Dave Smith is there. This is lit. Okay, let's go.
And this is the really interesting question here now, right?
Whoa. Let's go. They got Candace Owens, Dave Smith.
Entire corporate media told you for 8 years I was a Nazi and a Russian spy and a whole bunch of other lies that all basically meant you are not allowed to support this guy. And he's about to be reelected for a second term, it looks like. So that is obviously a huge rejection.
Is that the vibe going on? I didn't get the vibe. So here, let me tell you just where I'm at. My wife and I, we kind of made it a party that this thing is over. Like my wife is like Destiny, not whacked out like him, but more like, okay, we got to trust the institutions or whatever. She's still in that blue pill, but she's coming out of it. She didn't vote. I don't even put her name out here, so I'm not really outing anything. I tell her, don't get behind this camera. Don't do that. That's a problem. You can get fired from your job or anything. We had a party. We got some pizza. We got some nice drinks. I spent for the I got the Clearly Canadian. I love Clearly Canadians. Ironically, on American Election Day, got some Rosati's pizza and some little Chicago pizza and had a good kind of time. And so I don't know what the vibe is. I was on Twitter a little bit, but I didn't get the vibe. I was on it earlier, but not now. I'm getting the vibe people are calling this for Trump. I would recommend caution with that. I would recommend a lot of caution with that. I'm not seeing anything here from I'm looking at these states that you can just call this for Trump. I don't see it. Remember, this only comes down to a handful of black cities. Those haven't been, well, Atlanta has, but there's a lot of the black cities that I haven't seen speak yet, and mail-in voting, the batches.
But before they react, they're reacting. Listen, this is New York Times. This is not us.
Wait, hold on.
This is New York Times. Likely Trump winning 299 to 239.
Whoa.
Whoa.
This is New York Times, who can't stand Trump. By the way, Tom, you know what this reminds me of? 2016, you and I are on the phone at 3:30 in the morning. You're like,
it does.
Look at New York Times. Can you remind me of that story?
It does remind me of 2016. 2016. At that time, I expected Trump to do an upset. I did not expect this, though.
We can see you. Just stand up so they can see you, Tom.
I usually answer the question with, I am standing, but
Go ahead.
we were watching the New York Times, and we saw the New York Times meter in about 20 minutes just move back as the blue wall was not a blue wall, remember? That didn't come true. And I said, Pat, go here and watch. And we're watching it, and it says, all of a sudden it says 75% Trump. How is this possible? And then the Wisconsin votes, and the Michigan votes, and the Pennsylvania votes came in, and we were like, oh my word. And that's where it came in. And that's where you've got right now. You've got the New York Times that now is saying an 89%
Trust me,
chance.
they don't want to report this. I'm telling you guys right now, all of these guys.
Unless they want to set up a comeback story. I don't know. Maybe it's, I'm not saying I don't believe it at all, but I'm not ready to say that. But Michigan is a big one. If Trump is winning Michigan, that is not good for Kamala. Michigan is Democrat controlled top to bottom. So if there's going to be some type of rigging or anything, you definitely would see it in Michigan.
When it comes down to their bank account, they just don't want to say it in front of their friends. Some of these guys are sitting there saying, hey, man, I don't want to lose that 25% salary that I'm getting right now.
Absolutely.
Don't drop it. Brian, I think you want to say something.
Yeah, and by the way,
watershed moment.
Even if Arizona takes a long time to count, take a look at what's going on in Wisconsin. 72% have counted now. It's a 78% chance of winning Wisconsin.
Wow.
Look how red it is outside those cities.
It could be a blowout for Trump. That's what it looks more likely as now, but I'm still hesitant.
This is what happens when you have these two economies, when you have journalists and a bunch of people that are controlling the narrative that they come from expensive zip codes, they go to very expensive colleges, they all go to the same kind of colleges, and then they step right into a newsroom. And the fact of the matter is, most people giving us our news, like the legacy media, probably have never really met a lot of people that work with their hands, served in the military, smoke, know how to change a tire, who have built a business. They're just not around those people.
Even I know how to do that.
That's a major liability. So what happens is they figure they are smarter. And to them, they may not be even lying. In their mind, they're just trying to make the world a better place, and they're talking to people they've never met, that they've never been around. And they think, and that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't know people who come from a different background, who come from a different socioeconomic background, when you don't have to actually work with them or sell to them or give them what they want or come up with something they want. You start to think, well, they're not as smart. They're not as smart. They don't have my education. Because let me tell you the big difference between what I think is the left and the right at this point now. The big difference is, I think most of the people on the left that control the narrative, whether they're in media, whether they're in Hollywood, whether they're in academia, those people have heard and read about life. They haven't done life. Right. And all of you guys have done life. That's what it means when you want to build a business. You got to come into contact with objective reality, fail, readjust your approach, come up with a better way to do it. And that's how you learn about life. You cannot just read about life and hear about life and think you know life. And that's who I think populates the mainstream media.
I agree. Yeah, but I think it's more that they're easily manipulated into saying, "Hey, here's your script and say it." They're smart enough to know that. There's nothing you know that they don't know, but it makes them susceptible.
If you know how to sing. Vince, I think you wanted to say something.
You know, Patrick, one of the reasons why you guys are so successful, including you and Tucker and Rogan and all of them, is that when you turn on your shows, you see alpha males. I see you and your guys debating up here, man. You guys are all testosterone filled. You're
Truth.
men. And that's missing in mainstream media now. You got a bunch of wimpy, sorry, crying, beta males.
Absolutely.
But nobody wants to see that. So
Absolutely.
they turn on your show.
Yep.
You got men talking to one another.
Yep.
You turn on Tucker, he's got men. You turn on Rogan, you
Preach.
got men. You turn on, you look at Candace. Candace is alpha female. She's going, you know?
Yep.
And they're afraid of us. I look at you, alpha male. You know, as you say, we don't care what you do in the privacy of your bedroom. Stay away from our children. So we wake up one morning.
It's not
and
even.
we see drag queens shaking their asses in the face of our children in grammar school. And we say, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
How did this happen?
Yep.
We hear they're bringing the Bible out and they're putting porn into our libraries.
No.
And we're saying, how did this happen? They're allowing grown men to participate in sports against our daughters. And we're saying, how did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
And we woke up and we say, this starts now. And so you talked about it.
But notice, Kamala didn't talk a lot about the trans stuff. She wasn't into all that LGBTQ. I mean, they did a little bit of it, but they didn't do a lot. I mean, she did a little bit when she went on one of those drag shows or something like that. But that was more to hit that market. She hasn't taken that conversation out of that circle.
Americans.
Amen.
Those bars right there. I think that's completely true. And it's not even about politics. It is about more... you don't even need to say alpha, just more traditional valued male.
Achieved what we achieved. I mean, the safest country in European Union without any terror attack.
Who is this?
I said radical. Be radical. How to stop it?
Can we
Just
talk
stop
about
it.
PBD's setup though? My Lord. This dude got he got an airplane hangar and like 100-foot TVs? Damn. These niggas out here balling.
Because America is at the moment when it's hard to imagine that all this madness is not present. So you have to change the way of thinking. We never thought that Polish law enforcement
Who
will
is
be
this? Why is he
allowed to shoot and kill. It changed when our soldier was killed.
Why is he here? Who is this?
There is no time for discussion. There is no time for thinking, debating. We have to act now, not tomorrow, now. And this now for America is now, tonight. We have to, you have to. Mr. Trump, he has to do it. And I believe he will do it. When they ask us what you're going to do with illegals who manage to cross your border, we're going to deport them. We did in one day. One day. If celebrities are ready to leave this country when Trump is a president, I'm going to waive them. When you ask me what to do with illegals, deport them. Who's stopping you? That's how it should be done. We need a man in charge, and he's the one.
It's gonna be
Pennsylvania,
interesting
what
when
happened
we
with
see that. It's
Pennsylvania?
going to be interesting when we see that. Rob, you want to pull up that report, the one that Ben just got? Check this out, guys. Again, to validate the messaging, the market is talking, and here's what the market is saying. If you want to pull this up, Rob, if you have it.
I hope this is
You
not
don't have
betting
it?
stuff, man. I don't care about the
Okay,
betting
he
stuff.
needs 1
really.
second.
It was kind
Can we
of
get it
cool when it
hotter
was
in here,
fringe.
please?
What'd you say?
They hot. They sweating.
Actually,
Guys, check this out. So watch this. This just came in from Ben. This is all the, if you can zoom in a little bit, all the main lives on YouTube right now. Well,
Oh,
watch
wow.
this.
Number one's PBD. Wow.
Number 2, AP.
Wow.
Number 3, ABC. Number 4, Charlie Kirk. I just told him the other day he's doing such a phenomenal job on TikTok with the clips he's making. Number 5, Benny. Number 6, Tim Cass.
Wow.
Glad he's back at it.
Oh, he's
7,
over Daily Wire.
MSNBC.
Oh, wow.
Megyn Kelly. By the way, Megyn Kelly's endorsed. Megyn Kelly may run for office one day. She is. How many guys like Megyn Kelly? Anybody a
Love her.
Megyn Kelly fan? I think she's getting inspired to do something. Daily Wire, good for them. NBC News, go a little lower, Rob, if you could. I don't know who else is next. BBC, Al Jazeera. Look at this. All the folks that people are watching right now, what's going on.
Crowder.
But you're in the room of the #1 streaming worldwide.
Number one, the
Congratulations
biggest
to everybody here.
podcast in the world.
Oh, J-Lo
That's
watching
what it is.
that? J-Lo.
I'm gonna
G-Lo.
take a selfie.
G-Lo watching them? Wow. I mean, that was the first one that came to mind. For me, first it was Nick. Next is PBD. After that would be Crowder. Those are my top ones that I'd be thinking of right now. I mean, obviously a bunch of other people I like to follow. Wow. That's a dope setup. He got the lighting almost like it's a party. That's a dope setup with the big screens like that. That's like $1 million setup right there.
Wild night tonight. By the way, thank you. But let me give you guys this.
He might need some air conditioning though. Everybody's sweating.
You know, half this game that's being played is stamina. Let me give you a little bit of perspective. How many of you guys right now, be honest, how many guys right now are kind of thinking about your pillow?
We're sleeping? Because we old?
No, by the way, for those of you that are worried about lightning striking, raise your hand. How many guys are like, honestly, I'm kind of thinking about my pillow right now? Raise your hand. Respect. Check this out. There's this 78-year-old man that finished up his rallies yesterday at 3:30 in the morning.
PBD is so good at just the big picture. I really like the macro picture.
78-year-old man that finished up his rally.
Like what's important, not getting too much in the details. Like he'll jump in the details a little bit, bring it back out to the helicopter view, but not too generic.
More intimidating than your opponent who can outlast you. The level of stamina this guy has is ridiculous on how long he can last.
Little pump.
You got to give him props on his energy and the stamina that he's got. Can you imagine Kamala on the other side is like, dude, take a freaking break. The other day, you're looking at YouTube, all the lives, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. Trump to this audience, next audience.
Yep.
It's like 7, 8 of them he did in a single day.
Yep.
At 78 years old.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe Kamala's going to win for that?
Yeah, that's true. With hundreds of millions of views.
To sit there and believe that the person that works less, drives less is going to win? I don't know. I think...
I think the point on that one for me is, I mean, we're getting to the point just from getting the vibe of just a couple shows I'm watching here, Nick, and this. It looks like that's the vibe. You tell me if you're seeing that on Twitter and stuff. I haven't seen it. We're getting to the point where if they do try to steal it, it's not, it might get ugly. I'm not saying that they won't, but we're getting to that point where people are assuming it now.
Crazy. I'm good, man. I got some stuff here.
But that's exactly how it went in 2020, wasn't it?
Thank you, Adam.
If I remember correctly, that's kind of how 2020 went. But no, they called Arizona for Biden. So the vibe wasn't as jovial as this.
Rob, do we have the latest? You want to show that?
Trump's at 248. He's almost there. Yeah, it's looking like it is definitely looking like Trump.
Can you give Brandon the mic? Can somebody give Brandon a mic? Brandon, what are we looking at, Brandon?
Yeah, so we know he's not going to win Illinois, but it's pretty crazy. It's a 4-point margin right now. Last time he lost by 17 points.
What?
Same thing happening in New Jersey, just to show how much of a difference it is. And 86% of the votes in. So across the nation, much more popular this time around.
So you're saying in Illinois.
Are you serious?
4-point margin this year. Last time he lost.
Biden won by 1 million votes in Illinois.
Yep. And then
and
look
what
at
is
this
it
year.
right? So Trump got 2.44. Just remember that number, 24-34.
Yep.
Bring it up to today. He already has the same amount of votes by 100,000 as
and 86% of the votes in.
That is, and this is Illinois you're talking about. Wow.
Same thing in Jersey.
I don't know. This looks like it's.
Jersey? Do you have Jersey to show us?
Yep.
This is starting to look like it's steal proof. I don't know how you steal from this. This is too much to steal.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's just not going to add up. I mean, 4% in Illinois.
Brandon, do you have it or
I mean,
no?
Obama won Illinois by like 20 points.
If it makes you feel
We have
any
New
better,
Jersey.
I live in
We
the
found
red
the
part.
historical pads right up.
Tom, if you can show us Jersey and Illinois,
Wow.
because this is wild what I just saw.
I wonder, stay tuned. Kamala might have to concede.
16-point victory, to be exact, 15.9%. And this year, it's 5.
4.9.
Yep.
Tom, can you go to New York? Can we look at New York and California? Of course, they're not. But I just want to know, he spent a lot of time in New York. What does it look like?
Oh, no, New York was
comparable to 2020.
Look at that.
Wow, look at that. Look at
Obama
that. 90%
won.
in, 850 left, and he already has more votes this year than 2020.
Wow.
7% more votes than 2020 in New York.
That's wild. I looked up Illinois, Obama 08, won Illinois by 25. And right now, Trump's within 4. I see why. I think I'm late to the party. I came to the party and everybody's kind of getting hype. I'm like, damn, what's going on? And then now I'm kind of seeing that I'm like, oh, wow. Then go ahead, get crunk, get hype.
Someone is going to lose job.
What are we talking about?
He wins the popular vote because all of the states, so Kamala still wins New York, but you can see how narrow it is this time versus last time.
Wow.
So when you count everything up on a national basis, New York Times is saying there's a 90% probability right now he will win the popular vote by a little more than 1%.
Oh, yeah, Luke, too, of course. Friend of the show, Cyan's in the chat. Cyan has entered the chat.
Let me ask you, Tom.
It says, was watching Luke, and too many people are spiking the football. It's not over for another 2 months. It's looking, I agree with you. I'm shocked at the Illinois thing that I'm seeing here. That's the first I heard of that. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Cyan. We're gonna buckle in here, man. This could be. It could be. I thought it was gonna be a wrap for Kamala tonight, and that's done. That's not even possible. It could be a wrap for Trump tonight. How crazy would it be to watch? How crazy! I want to see Kamala concede now. I want to see that. I want to see a concession speech from Kamala Harris at 2 a.m. It's not going to happen, but I want to see it.
Okay, if we can get the folks from Rasmussen on, that'd be great. Brandon, go for it. This is what? This is Jersey?
Thank you, Cyan. Appreciate you.
She's only got 190,000 vote lead.
Oh, wow. You know it's a crazy night. Twitch
Versus
is in the building. What's up, Diggs?
It was a big victory.
Twitch is
Look
representing.
at that, guys. By the way, this may not just be a 2024 thing. The shift may be taking place on a lot of different states. By the way, just for shits and giggles, Rob, can you pull up California, if you can pull them up real quick.
So I titled, while there's a little bit of downtime here, I titled the stream something like, if Trump wins, this is why. And why I did that was, well, I took that from, I think, New York Times or somebody had a headline like that. But that's what I was thinking, is because Trump has been kind of watered down. Trump is acceptable. I mean, he's pro-war. He's pro the right things. I don't think there's anything that Trump, any strong position that Trump has that Tom Cotton would be offended at, that Mike Pompeo would be offended at, that Ted Cruz would be offended at, that any kind of establishment person would be offended at. So it's almost like Trump is the perfect person now. I don't know what that means for politics, but if he wins, that's kind of my vibe. It looks like Latinos, they were rocking and rolling with Trump. Let's see how that.
That is wild. She is down 4.8. But again, Tom, it matters what's going to happen with Portland, Salem, and Eugene.
Yeah.
Portland is relatively a heavily left community. No, Tom?
Absolutely.
That's an
But-
understatement.
Interestingly, Washington State, it's stable.
Stable from 2020 to 2024. Dang, PPD got a whole
When do you
team
think
of
we'll hear
people.
about Pennsylvania?
Is that? Are they all on staff? How much money is this dude making?
That's all they're going to scream. racism, misogyny. It's not going to have anything to do with her policy. It's not going to do anything.
I don't know if they're going to scream that this time. She hasn't really. Sneeko has used the word white supremacist way more than Kamala Harris has. I don't know if they're going to do that this time. It's not working. If they're not going to be able to, if they can't make it steal proof or they're not stealing or I don't know what. I don't know if they're going to do the racist thing. They've been doing more the abortion thing to try to get women out, and I don't know if that didn't work or what.
We're going to tell people that we voted against Kamala Harris because she was crazy as hell. And we didn't want her.
And she's leftist.
Yeah.
Rob has another Joy Reid clip, folks.
Uh-oh.
For Christian people in the room here, please drop a prayer for her. Rob, we don't want her to lose her mind. Please go
I'll pray for her after I laugh.
On this set numerous times is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks.
Yep.
But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And, God bless Shannon Watts, who has tried to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and people vote more party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people.
I don't know, man. I'm just getting the vibe that even the liberals are tired of the black women. I'm getting the vibe that it's not just me anymore. Because for a while I felt like it was just me and everybody's like, why are you talking about the blacks like that? I don't know, man. It's just the vibe on even the MSNBC set. It just felt a little awkward. It felt like there were some white women there that wanted to put hands on her if they could. I didn't get a good feel there. And I don't know if that's going to continue. I really don't know. We'll see. You'll know real quickly. We'll see what happens after here. Let's say hypothetically Trump wins. And then they say Joy Reid and MSNBC have parted ways. Then that game is over. It's on to the next game. Jeff Bezos talked about it with the Washington Post. He's like, I'm out that game. I don't think he's going to do anything like based or truthful, but he's out the full biased game. I think he's out here's kink and children together at a pride parade, and here's why it's good. I think that's what he means. I think that Jeff Bezos op-ed that I read, or I had AI read, I think what that means is it's not that he's going pro-Trump or even being neutral. He'll have whack Republicans on or writing op-eds and stuff like that. He'll get more of them on. But I think what that means is he's out the game of here's why Trump won and here's why white women are the problem. I think he's trying to get out of that game. That's what the thing is.
Go ahead, Rob.
Even if Trump doesn't win, the Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality in national security terms. Now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
I love that set, man. That is so... I like how the TV is so big that they can show the whole room and it's still big. That's crazy. That's a crazy setup for PBD.
And by the way, you could find a lot of quotes from Rachel Maddow and just Hillary Clinton last month blatantly said, if we don't have censorship online, we lose our control of the narrative. And you got to remember, right, it was not that long ago. Like, I'm not saying in my grandpa's day. I'm saying in my life, the corporate media had a monopoly on information. This was up till very recently. This is such a new phenomenon. And the plan after 2016, when Trump won the first time, what they did to deal with that was they hauled in, if you remember, all the heads of social media companies, and they had Congress threaten them, like basically, if you don't crack down on misinformation, Russian propaganda, which by the way can be anything, then we're gonna shut you down. And it worked. They got all of them to start censoring people. And then Elon Musk stepped in and totally messed up their entire plan and made Twitter somewhat of a free speech platform. And so, Pat, I think you're absolutely right. Trump's essentially, I mean, yeah, he's in there, but he can't run for re-election again. He's not the real threat. But Elon Musk, you know, he said on Rogan the other day that if Kamala Harris wins, he thinks he's going to be in real trouble. I'll just say, it's still true whether Trump wins or not. Like, if we learned one thing from Trump's first 4 years, there's a whole executive branch that he does not have control of. There's 3-letter agencies that he does not have control of. Just so everyone, enjoy tonight. I'm not trying to celebrate. It looks like Trump's going to win. This is incredible. But the fight is just starting, man. It's not over. This is just the beginning, and Elon Musk is in real danger.
That's why you have That's why you have Dave Smith on the show. I like how he's like, hey, I'm not trying to get everybody down. Go have your drinks and party, whatever. Same here. People know I'm out on Trump. I'm not trying to get anybody down. Go have your drinks, have fun, party. But he gives a little bit of that reality to it. Elon Musk is for his own interest. He doesn't give a damn about Donald Trump. I can guarantee you that. It's just, I mean, it's politics. That's how politics works. For right now, Trump is convenient and the smart play for him. But Elon's not going to have to give up any of his businesses. He's not going to be nominated to an official cabinet position. And Rachel knows that.
Maybe Mark Zuckerberg doesn't write that letter to Honorable Chairman Jim Jordan.
100%.
If Musk, so he is in the way, in a big way, because Google can't do what they were usually doing. Google's like, oh, we made a mistake, and Rogan was very noble to say YouTube didn't make a mistake. That, you know, the whole Trump Rogan, you couldn't find, other clips were coming up. He said, no, YouTube didn't do anything. You can still find us over here. I think they're going to go after this guy hard, but if they win, he's got 4 years to get in to expose enough people where the shit could stop the next 4 years. I think he's going to be very formidable, but I do think he's enemy to state number one the next 4 years.
Is somebody going to wake up Candace, or we like, what's going on? Somebody going to call her name, or what are we doing?
We turned on them and bought Twitter.
Candace, hey, Candace, there's an election going on. It's kind of like me. You know, sometimes you're on these panels and stuff. And you don't really get a chance, but could somebody kind of tap her on her shoulder, give her some coffee? I don't know.
And every man that has any bit of testosterone about him, the things you have to do in the family is that first you have to love your children and your family, then you have to protect them.
No, but notice here. So good comment here. A lot of people aren't following Elon like this. Mac Thomas. A lot of people aren't feeling me when I criticize Elon on free speech, because Elon has opened things up with his interpretation of what he's allowing, what he's not allowing, but that's not what free speech is. Mac Thomas says Trump is on the side of the ADL. How can he claim free speech? That's why comic Dave Smith was like close to free speech or like free speech. He was very careful with his words there. I agree with you. Here's Candace.
These are people who don't have an investment in your future, right? One of the things that really makes you care deeply about what's going to happen in the future is becoming a parent. And when you get people like Kamala Harris, who doesn't care at all about your future, she cares about herself. She cares about where she's going. She cares about how she can climb, you know, the power totem pole. That's a very scary predicament for America. So going back to Elon Musk, he watched the Church of Woke, the demonic Church of Woke, the impact that it had on his child. You know, he openly spoke about his child and transgenderism, and I think he had a personal investment in wanting to watch that church, or, you know, I shouldn't even call it a church.
Wait, why is
they
to the ground?
Turned his kid against him.
Yeah, they turned his child against him, and that makes it now
what
personal.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that makes it personal.
That's what the Maoists did.
They messed with the wrong man's child.
Well, listen.
If you don't know, famously, I forget the name of the kid, Elon Musk's son, now puts on a dress and identifies as a woman. Man, that is. I have two young kids, 8 and 5, and I would love them regardless. I've talked about that before, but that would be a devastating turn of events. Let's just say that.
And he's like, got it. I will forever remember this. Or when Obama was doing mean tweets with Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, and Trump said whatever he said, and he says, at least I will go down as a president. Drops the mic. And Trump's like, no, I didn't forget it. There are certain people in life you do not screw and cross over because they got a memory they will never forget. They're going to come after you. This was one of those guys. Rob,
agreed.
Do we have Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen on? Is he on? If he's on, can we put him on so everybody can
Another
see
guy
it?
I would go to is Rich Barris too.
Is he on?
Robert Barnes, but they're on their. I think they're on behind the paywall.
From Rasmussen polls. So Mark, thank you for joining us. How you doing out there? How's everything?
Whoa, welcome.
I'm doing great. I wouldn't miss this for the world. Man, we are having a good night right now.
I know this is your game. This is the world you're in. Like if somebody's watching baseball, you watch all the stats, all the trades. Is Juan Soto going to go to the Mets? Is he going to stay at the Yankees? Why did you do the post-game interview saying he wants to sit with everybody? Does he want to go to the Dodgers? That's the world of people that follow baseball. You follow polls. What are you noticing that's a weird pattern for 2024 that's different than 2020?
The weird pattern is, once again, all the mainstream media pollsters lied and shilled for Democrats.
Yep.
If we weren't out there putting out our daily numbers, all the way going back to the beginning of Kamala Harris's candidacy, listen, week after week, we showed that Trump was winning the national popular vote by 2 points. Everybody else went massively left. Like Reuters Ipsos had Trump winning and went all the way out to Harris +6, and then they came all the way back to us. So it looks like in every single one of these states, we really nailed it. And Trump's sweeping the battlegrounds. That's like really where we're at right now. And nobody in the media could bring themselves to say them. It's like their managing editors forced them to say that this race was just too close to call. It never was.
Wow.
So, okay. So
that's what Rich Barris and Robert Barnes have been saying too. If you listen to them, they do their gambling. People made some money tonight. I don't do the gambling, but if you do, Robert Barnes seems good with Rich Barris.
Rasmussen. They'll only look at certain polls that favors them, and they're like, no, Atlas Intel, don't look at them. No, Rasmussen, no. They're not even coming to you guys anymore. Is it at a point right now that they can no longer hide?
They try to cancel us. They just can't. We were kicked out of the 538 aggregate for ideological reasons. They didn't like that we talked to Steve Bannon or that we polled on issues like the vaccines or election integrity. We're really the only ones that do it. Those are vital issues that people have really big concerns about. So they couldn't get rid of us, and it was really unfortunate that we were showing that the race was basically locked in because people know who Trump is. He's been campaigning for this for like 10 years now. And quite frankly, I don't think people care who Kamala Harris is. He's just an extension of the Biden administration that really hurt people.
So we just saw one of the polls from New York Times saying if it goes the way it's going, Trump's going to win 299. Where do you have it?
I think he's going to sweep the Rust Belt. I think that he's going to win Arizona and Nevada because that's what my poll said. And I think we're looking at 312 right now, to be honest.
Whoa!
And I honestly think she should look around and say she's not going to get enough votes to get over the hump. 87% of Pennsylvania is 78% of Wisconsin. I don't think she's going to be able to dig herself out of that. And so it's going to be time for the phone calls.
Whoa.
You have any questions for him on the poll side? Vince, Dominic, any questions for him? Go for it. Dominic, you got a question for him?
No. The question is, how would you react on, because I just checked the Twitter, and there is, I think, very important tweet. Let me quote it. This is from Cardi B, and she tweeted, "We need a Hail Mary." That's her tweet. What's your comment?
Cardi B said we need a Hail Mary?
Yes.
I responded to
I
her.
wouldn't laugh on that. I didn't know she's Catholic.
Cardi B likely thinks
I
they
didn't
hail.
know she's Catholic, but I think they know.
Let Candace
I
speak.
think they know. Cardi B, and then we've got another one. Has anyone checked on Stephen King? He hasn't posted in 7 hours. What we know from internet, people are leaving their meetings. There's no comment, and then I know that Kamala Harris said that she's not going to comment.
Oh my!
The question would be, what is going to happen if Harris would take Pennsylvania? What would have happened if she would take Pennsylvania now? Yeah,
Trump would
that
still.
Would be the question. What would have
Well,
happened?
she has to get Pennsylvania.
If Harris would take Pennsylvania, what would you see about?
But let Candace talk. The Cardi B thing was more
Trump
interesting.
swept the Sun Belt, and I think he's going to win in Arizona and Nevada pretty clearly. So she has to sweep the Rust Belt. Listen, if this didn't just come down to Pennsylvania, we might be in a different situation right now. Because
So the last time somebody got over 312 was Obama in 2008 and in 2012. Obama got 332 electoral college votes. And Trump had 304 when he beat Hillary, but they're projecting 312. The last time would have been 2012, Obama.
These states.
But it was funny, though. He brought up Cardi B. I'm going to have to go look for that. And Candace Owens was like, I was already in her mentions. Don't worry about it. We got that. I'm on it. Don't worry. That's why I'm quiet over here in the corner. And then we're at the point where we're doing wellness checks on the liberals or the neoliberals. Stephen King, we're looking at the timeline to see when's the last time they tweeted. Because if Kamala was up, Stephen King would have been blowing that motherfucker up. They looked on there and said, Stephen King, last post, 7 hours. Did someone check on him? Is he all right? Did he look for one of those capsules in Switzerland? He's probably on the internet right now searching. Do a wellness check. Somebody who cares about him, take a look.
Calculations, New York Times, decision desk, the betting markets have all determined that Donald Trump is winning this. She's got to come to that realization soon.
Do you think we'll have do you think most of the people that are still up following this, they'll go to sleep tonight knowing who the winner is, where we will see Trump celebrating
No, you don't know yet.
Palm Beach Convention Center, or is this going to happen till tomorrow?
Good question.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, good question.
They have options right now, and one of them is essentially forcing Trump to say that it's his race. In my opinion, the country's really divided. We have the highest risk of a civil war than we've ever had in our polling.
I mean,
People
I don't want
think there's
violence.
going to be a violent reaction to this election, regardless of who wins. If they wanted to do the right thing, to de-escalate, to turn back the accelerationist mindset they have, they should make the call, because I just don't think they're going to get there without coming up with hundreds of thousands of them.
Whoa. He's saying they should make the call.
Split like 80-20 will know tonight, 60-40 will know tonight, 50-50. Where are you at? You're in the percentage.
I don't care. It's a great question. It's not against PBD. I don't care about that. Trump has to make the victory speech tonight. It's over. He has to lock it up, walk like the champion, act like the champion. Buju Banton, that's a great song. He's got to do the victory speech, and I'm not talking about a happy speech, but we have to wait. He needs to act like he won. That's half the battle. So he needs to have that ready, take a nap, be ready, get some coffee. Mega Dog says they're all home packing their bags, the neoliberals. They're leaving the country, remember? Hey, Stephen King, remember you said, with all that stuff you said, I don't know if you did or not, but I know some of them did. Remember you said that stuff you said about leaving the country? Do you need some help? We got some buses for you. Mega Dog's like, bye-bye. Oh, wow. MAGA's acting a fool tonight. MAGA's going to be acting a fool tonight. Be safe, y'all. Man, I can feel the vibe. MAGA is clowning. Call off work. Make sure you call off work now, because y'all fooling already. Even Nick Fuentes looked like he was fooling. Well, hopefully, Mac Thomas says, well, hopefully some people are satisfied with the Trump victory. I highly doubt it'll affect me much more than if Harris won. I still need a biz loan, yeah? Yeah, not. I mean, Trump might be better in certain aspects. Thanks for reading it right. Much love. Okay. Let's take a look. This is a good interview here.
Happy to be here.
Have a
you
good
let
night.
him out.
Good job. Thank you.
Wow.
By the way, let me explain to you guys how his business works. you can say Trump won. Pundits can say Trump won. Podcasters can say Trump won. He can't say that. His entire business model is in how accurate he's going to be when he says somebody won. Do you understand what just happened right there? He can't get away with saying something like that.
Yeah, that's a big thing for him.
Well, for him to say something like that, how you feeling with what he just said?
You know, it's funny as you talk to him, the thing that I'm thinking is that, look, and obviously it's looking very good for Donald Trump right now.
It looks like a rat, it does.
If he's right and Donald Trump cracks 300, and he's got more than, what did he say? He said 312 or something like that, electoral votes. I mean, then the other thing we got to look at here is how bad all the polls were again. They got this thing completely wrong. I mean, look, I think all of us have probably felt this way for about the last month. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Pat, Candace, I'm sure you guys agree with me on this, when I say everything you could tangibly measure this election by, like everything you see and feel and observe, it looked like Trump was running away with it. He had moved the culture toward him, all the big events, all the big rallies, all the big shows, and yet every goddamn pollster in this country said this was the closest election in my lifetime. It's what all of them said. And if he does crack, I mean, if he's already got this thing pretty much wrapped up, it's not even 12:30 yet, and they're saying he could crack 300 electoral votes, then this is a blowout, man. This was not a close election at all. This was exactly what it felt like, a Trump blowout.
And the Polish
Why
TV,
is this Polish dude
Polish
talking
TV,
so much?
Republika TV
Will
is
somebody go get him? What is he doing? Is he lost? I don't know who he is. Why is he there? Why do they have a Polish dude there? That's way worse than me drinking a clearly Canadian. Somebody go get him and help him out, because I think he's on the wrong set. Jordan Lott, the Libertarians. I have not got to Chase Oliver because the Trump news is too big. The homie Jordan Lott jumped in, has entered the chat, says, bro, it's going to be messy. Chase Oliver is crushing it. Libertarians, let's go. Dave Smith, heck yeah. There's a lot with Chase Oliver. He got like 0.5% of the vote. Dave Smith is representing as usual. Subs and share. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. Mega Dog. Appreciate you greatly. Matthew Ulrich says Trump 45 and 47. We're witnessing, I ad-libbed that. History in the making. This is, I don't see how you cheat out of this one, to be honest with you. Ain't no batches that can solve this one. Let's just say this. You don't want batches to solve this one for Kamala Harris. And I'm the one that says nobody's doing anything. At this point, it's not going to work. So, and then the other part of it, the 14th Amendment is not happening. If he wins 312, to whatever the math is to fill it out, if he wins with 312, you can't do the insurrection, Section 3 of 14th Amendment. You can't do it. You don't have the mandate to. You shouldn't even have the votes. So it's a wrap if he gets that much. If he sneaks by, you maybe could, and maybe that's what the angle they would go with and why Kamala wouldn't concede. But this looks like a typical election where you just know we should know. This should be called soon at this point.
But a little bit more subdued. And the word that I keep hearing, it must be some new phrase that has entered the lexicon, is the idea that people here are nauseously optimistic. Not just cautiously optimistic, but nauseously optimistic.
Have you ever heard anybody use the phrase nauseously optimistic?
That would be the first time I've ever heard that phrase. Yeah.
Is that like morning sickness when you're pregnant?
What? Absolutely not.
Is that
subdued but nauseously optimistic?
Nauseously optimistic. That's a bar.
I think
I'm disgustingly optimistic with Trump. I'm disgustingly optimistic.
They said they're nauseously optimistic. They're in full flame out mode. Find your nearest liberal and seriously do a check and make sure they're okay. Let them know it's going to be all right. Trump was president before. All that stuff they told you about the end of voting and your democracy, they were just lying to you. It's going to be okay. We want to put you in gulags, but we can't get that done just yet. So don't worry just yet. Woo! Nauseously, did they say nauseously optimistic? Does that mean like you're smiling while you're throwing up? What does that term mean? Does that mean you're making the noose, but you're hoping you don't have to use it? What does nauseously optimistic mean? I've never heard that before. Wow, this is worse than Hillary. This is worse than 2016 with the Hillary stuff. The Hillary stuff was more just subdued. They weren't talking about no nauseously optimistic. They weren't making up terms. Oh no. Oh my.
Is just watching all of the worst people in this country lose, man. And I know some people will say, like, hey, that's not a good reason to support someone just because you hate the other side. And actually, yes, it fucking is a great reason to support somebody. Because have you seen the other side? They're the worst human beings in the world. And
I was on with Craig Pasta today, and I said, you know, I've got my issues or whatever, but I said I completely understand the argument for voting for Trump, and I have no problem with it. Who has entered the chat? Mike has bad knees. I'm grateful you could stop by, sir. Mike says the blacks have saved America by just deciding to stay home. we thank you, blacks. Good looking out. Just the turnout. I don't know. Is that what happened? However y'all helped, we appreciate you. Obnoxiously optimistic. That's more like it. Oh no, my parents from the boohoo, they cared a lot for Kamala. So I'm not happy to see them sad about it, but Mac Thomas, let your parents know we don't have the gulag plans yet. That's not Trump. He's not doing that. The gulags against the left. He doesn't have that in him. He's a very kind guy. He's very, very you know, he wants to, remember, that's why he did the bump stock stuff. He wants to kind of appease both sides. He's not, just tell your parents, he's not that guy. Black on the right track. They stayed home, and now everybody's got bars in the chat about blacks being on the right track.
After day one, do you remember Trump's face when he looked at his family? He's like, shit, I guess we're freaking presidents. I can only imagine when he's looking at Melania saying, babe, I think you're the first lady. Seriously? I think we won. I don't think 2024 is 2016.
Wait. There's just so much happening here. Can we just focus on this for a second? First and foremost, just wishing yourself a happy birthday in general is amazing.
Why would you do that?
And then but this was the general attitude that they have. Like, I remember also the night before,
wishing yourself
rather
a
than
happy
going
birthday.
out and meeting voters, she threw a Beyonce and Jay-Z concert, Chance the Rapper. I mean, they brought everybody out. And I remember Jay-Z introducing her. He said, I would like to introduce to you the next president of the United. I mean, they were just so convinced that she had won in the most incredible way. But you rarely see this level of arrogance. To tweet to yourself, happy birthday, and just basically saying, like, you're going to be the president.
It's weird to say that they should have just left Joe Biden in there. And I never thought I would say that. I thought it was the right move to, even for Kamala, to swap him out. I think they shouldn't have swapped him out unless they had a real primary. Because obviously Kamala wouldn't have won that. It probably would have been Josh. Josh Shapiro has the energy probably. And believe it or not, y'all are going to think I'm crazy. Who do you think I'm going to say that you think would be crazy? I'm going to wait. So I said, what I'm saying is they shouldn't have picked Kamala. And Obama knew. The Obamas looked like they knew that. And it probably would have been like a Josh Shapiro. I'm getting the vibe, not a Gavin Newsom. I don't think he would have had the chance. Just coming from California, kind of whacked out. He tried to kind of normalize himself, and it takes time. Who's the other name that you think I will pull that I think if they had a primary actually would have had a chance? And it's I'll give you a hint. It's from a key state. So now Kamala's going to get destroyed here. They're going to go after her hard. I'll see if anybody, picks the name.
But you're not going to see the greatest highlight reel of all time from 2016. My opinion, you could say I'm wrong, but I just think it's going to be a different highlight reel. Dominic.
It is true. You
What is
Clinton's?
Who is Dominique? Somebody tell me who this dude is, so I can help him find the right live stream. Why is he there? Nope, it's not Whitmer. Nope, Gavin Newsom. Nope, it's Fetterman. Yeah, I think it would have been Josh Shapiro, or it would have been Fetterman. I'm being dead serious. He fits the vibe. He has the he fits the kind of I guess white male vibe as far as like he tries to like I'm a everyday kind of guy. We know he's not, but trying that kind of stuff. And he does the interviews with the white brick in the background. Yeah, yep, brain damage. Yep. Brain damage is who I would say would be Josh Shapiro, and they're both from Pennsylvania. They don't like each other either. That would have been an ugly primary. But why did they wait so long to swap Biden? I was talking about them swapping Biden in like 2022. I don't understand why it took so long. And I said that's what I know they were talking about the blacks and all that, why they couldn't skip Kamala. But to me, if you have an open primary and she doesn't win, I don't know what the blacks would do. They would just say, just pick another VP. So you would have had, I don't know, pick a black to go with John Fetterman. What, Dominic is still speaking. What is going on? Oh, is that the president of Poland? No, it's not. No way it's not. No way. He has the president of Poland on his live stream? What the hell? I'm like, why is this nigga talking so much? That's not the president of Poland. You're just playing with me, man. That's the president of Poland's older than that. He's an older guy, right? Yeah, that's not the president of Poland. Y'all playing, man. Y'all play too much.
Look at his powerhouse table. Look at this.
Dana White, he's the absolute
One has
best.
access to a few thousand of the toughest fighters in the world.
Yeah.
The other guy's got access to $300 billion. And the other one's got access to the world paying attention to him. All at the same table.
That's a power photo.
That's a powerful table right there. By the way, report just came in. If you can show this, Fox just said this. Republicans officially gained Senate.
Yeah. I'm not going to rain on anybody's parade, but I'm not cheering about that. If Carrie Lake, I still like Carrie Lake. If she gets in, tell me what happened with Carrie Lake. I did see, Moreno won in Ohio. Sherry Brown got ousted.
Your community. We had earlier Little Pump. Little Pump, 24 years old, rapper, got tens of millions.
Did you say Little Pump?
I said Little Pump.
It's Lil.
No, he said it right.
Little Pump. What did it sound
Little
like I said?
Pump. It's like little baby. It's
That's
like
exactly
Lil,
what it is.
What? Who is she? What is going on, man?
Am I saying it wrong?
Why is she on the stage? Who is that?
Dude, I'm too old for this.
It's
I have no idea.
L-I-L. L-I-L.
Don't make fun of my accent in front of millions of people. This is embarrassing for me.
Little baby.
So Little Pump is here. I asked him a question.
Who is that?
24 years old. He's coming out at 2020 saying he supports Trump. And a lot of rappers in his community are calling him, say, hey, how would you do this? What's wrong with you?
Not
For
really.
yourself, you're in your 20s. Have you noticed some friends who would have never voted for Trump calling you saying, I'm thinking about shifting? And if yes, maybe share a story or two with us.
So most people my age...
I'm going to look it up, Mike. The only ones I know are Moreno. There's some others I've never really heard of. I like Royce White a lot. That's my dude in Minnesota, the former basketball player. When I was in the rural part of Minnesota, I saw his stuff all over lawns. Royce White all over lawns. And I used to, believe it or not, I used to really like and respect Amy Klobuchar, who he's going against. I don't know where the polling is. Let me go look that up, Mike. See what's going on in the Senate.
Easy. They had different problems. But he's like, how did you guys buy a house? Like, I don't even see that in my future. How did you do X, Y, Z? How did you get married? How did you have 4 kids? And watching my brother have to go through that, like, that hurts. It's crazy to think that people my age are going to have to suffer through this shitty economy because well, Biden's senile, but Kamala won't be much better. It's crazy to think about. That's just one of the many reasons.
Who is that? Who is he having on the stage there? I mean, you got comic Dave Smith and Candace Owens. Just focus on them. And the black dude has some good takes too. Senate 2024 Senate election live results is my first time looking kind of in depth here. What do we see? Ohio's the only one that I kind of know about. Do we have them here? Okay. So what's going on here? How is this? I'm sorry. This is my first time looking at this, so I don't even know what I'm looking at. Incumbent major candidates. Kirsten Sinema, I know she's out. So what are we looking at? What's going on here? Yeah, it's Rubin and Kerry Lake. Do we not have results yet? Yeah, I did see this. Adam Schiff. Wow. No surprise, but the shifty one, the pencil neck, he is now officially a senator. He is one of the most savage. That dude would off you if it meant half a vote. He would eliminate your life. That's my opinion. He is one of the most savage politicians out there. I mean, he is just pure destruction. Chris Murphy reelected. So who's going on here? Winner, Lisa, that's blue. So who is the red? Rick Scott, we already knew that. That's not new. Mike Braun. Wait, what's Jim Banks? That's not new. I'm just trying to see who are we looking at. Josh Hawley, that's not new. Wait, I don't even know what I'm looking at, guys. So hold on. I don't know. I'll have to look at that separately. I don't even understand. I don't know if I'm just being slow right now. I don't know how it's set up there. Because I'm not seeing the percentages. I don't understand why I'm not.
From 0 to 18 costs $245,000.
Wow.
You know, right now, to have a kid from 0 to 18 costs you nearly $400,000. So if you have 3 kids, that's $1.2 million over 18 years.
I think it cost me that much this month.
How old's your kid?
Well, I got 2 of them, and they're expensive. Listen, I mean, obviously, I will say this, right? Obviously, the price inflation has been a huge, huge issue. By the way, might not be the most popular thing to say in this room right now, but it's also a lot Donald Trump's fault. Just saying, he was for the lockdowns and printing $6 trillion in 2020. Yeah, sorry, it sucks, but you don't have a counter argument. It's true. It turns out if you shut down the economy and just print tons of money, it results in price inflation. But Biden certainly kept it going. I gotta say, here's another angle that I don't think any of us have talked about tonight, and I do find this to be very interesting. And I don't know if I have my thoughts completely flushed out on it, but the young left-wingers, the 20-something-year-olds, are not the shock troops for the regime that they were in 2016. Like, I don't know, Donald Trump spoke at Madison Square Garden, and there were like 100 people protesting. If he had spoken in 2016 at Madison Square Garden, there would have been massive protests with, you know, fights outside and this whole thing. And I do think a big part of it is that the young left-wingers have spent this whole year protesting.
I want to stop because he's gone far from it. Glenn Beck had a clip that I played, and in the clip, he said, it is a privilege to be able to stand with the Jew. It's a tremendous honor. And to see Dave Smith, and I kind of play it as a joke because that's not where I'm at. But if you don't know, Dave Smith is Jewish, and I will say it is an honor to stand with the Jew. It is my honor to stand with. He is at the rally, and he says, I'm sorry, I do have to let you know, by the way, he was responsible for inflation. So I'm not here to just play those games with you. Go have fun, go have a party. And then he went on to the leftists. That takes courage. I like that. So let's look at this. Royce White lost, which is not surprising, but what a great run for him. So I did look at it. So you just click on the thing for the polling. Let's take a look and see. So I'm going to go down to the Royce White. That's one of the ones. Mike has bad knees. Was looking at. Since I'm here, well, let's actually start here since I probably passed it. Sherrod Brown in Ohio lost. So that's a gain. So they have the gain here. That's how they gained a seat. Bernie Moreno. And we saw that because he had a lot. Trump backed him hard. and he won 50-46 over Sherry Brown. So that was a gained seat. I don't know his politics well enough to describe him, so I'm not excited about that. I'm not I'm nauseously what did they say? I'm nauseously optimistic about Moreno. Let's see who else was a game. Oh yeah, Joe Manchin, because Joe Manchin retired, and that's a red, typically a red area. So Joe Manchin was basically a red anyway, kind of. So that's where you got Joe Manchin retiring, and then you have Bernie Moreno. That's the only reason, and then you hold everything else. Is what it looks like. I don't know if they lost anything. I don't know if any incumbent lost that was running as a Republican. There's obviously not, because there's no gain from the Democrats. So that's the story of the Senate, it looks like to me. And the Senate is whatever. I'm care more. If you had Royce White in the Senate, that would be a change in the Senate. I don't look at these red and blue colors like it's any type of difference or anything necessarily. Even Carrie Lake might be a change in the Senate, but not. I don't know where Bernie Moreno is at or whatever.
I mean, the second they got into office, it's just been mayhem overseas, right? Ukraine. I mean, we've got to support this, we've got to support that. I think overall, it is an issue that matters. Look, I live in Tennessee. You go around, you speak to people that they just don't care about what's happening overseas, okay? They care about gas. They want to be allowed to finally actually be America first, to stop telling us that we have to prioritize every other effing nation except for America. I mean, that's the number one issue that people care about. Like, let's fix the things that are happening at home before we go overseas and try to fix everybody else's issues.
And it's a very small thing, but I just like how Candace dresses. It's like, I'm here to give my opinion and to be respected. So I'm going to dress like you should respect me. And she's always been like that. It's a small thing, but a credit to her. It matters. The presentation matters. That's why you go to an interview, you wear certain things. You go on a first date or any date, or you're going to, you dress appropriately. It matters. And she understands that. Not everybody does. Cyan says, I voted against my Rhino rep, but 74% of my state chose to reelect his arse back in another term. Well, there you go. I don't know what we're going to do about that. $5, thank you for that. I think we got to start with the House and get the House right in your districts. The Senate is just tough, man. The Senate is almost like president. There's so much money that you need, even like AOC. AOC is one of the most well-recognized, known people in Congress, and she's not in the Senate yet. Adam Schiff just got there. He's one of the dirtiest ever. Nancy never got there. She didn't need to, but it's hard to get to the Senate. I know MTG wants to get there. It's hard to get there. And the more you get there, the more Zionist you have to be, and that ties into, thank you, as always, Cyan. It goes back to what Mike Head Bad Knee said. Trump didn't back Royce, and I haven't talked about that enough. I haven't talked about Royce enough. His podcast is so fire. He is so good. He has the black setting. He's chilling in the chair. Perfect vibe, man. Unique, fits his style. If you don't listen to Royce White, look up Royce White. He's really good. Respectful in debate and just really bright, real well-read, and I just really admire him a lot. Mike Has Bad Knee says Trump didn't back Royce, and it's probably because he's not a Zionist. Yeah, he's not like a full anti-Zio. But he is. His take is reasonable on that, and that's probably why. Also, Trump knew he was going to lose probably, and didn't want to back somebody who was going to lose. Maybe, I don't know, but the Black Nazi didn't win. Didn't work out in North Carolina. Yeah, Mark Robinson done. That's why I said, like, if you're going to go out, just go out with who you are. You can go out anyway. Why go out as a phony? Go out and say, hey, I like trans. I do collect Yahtzee figures. That's who I am. Take it or leave it. Thank you, Mike Has Bad Knees and Cyan. Mike says, this is going to sound weird, but I think she looks better. It's actually not that weird. So Mike Has Bad Knees says, we're talking about Candace Owens. He says it's going to sound weird, but I think she looks better when she's pregnant. But you heard that, obviously, probably that pregnancy glow. And no, I think I actually do see what you're saying. It's kind of like she wasn't one that got really, really, really big. She got big, but not like super big, which is perfectly fine. That's the whole point of being pregnant. You get big. But it kind of filled her out a little bit. Kind of like I said, Christina, we're way off the rails now, but Christina Aguilera, I think she took Ozempic or something like that. And I was like, she was better when she was kind of thick, to be honest with you. Way, way more attractive to me. Her face rounds out. That's exactly what I see, the same thing. That's what happened with Christina Aguilera. I seen her. I was like, is that her? She looks skinny. And she got too skinny. And it wasn't like an athletic skinny. She was just like skinny, like almost crackhead skinny. I was like, and she had gained a lot of weight. I was like, she looked more attractive when she was a little thicker. And that's probably the Candace Owens. She's kind of skinny there.
Very formidable, respectful. I like how, now doesn't mean you have to agree with him on his policies, but I actually like the way Josh carries himself.
Yeah.
If he would have even chosen him as a VP, she would have a better shot than, by the way, we have to say, I mean, seriously, some of the best content created the last few months. Let's not forget, we got to give some love to one person that I don't think we're giving enough respect to. Tim Waltz gave us some of the best content the last few months.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
We have had such great commentary to respond to. The Madden game that started and finished 0-0. The comments he made the other day calling Elon Musk that gay guy. He called Elon Musk that gay guy. Who calls Elon Musk that gay guy? The guy's got 11 kids.
I know.
Loading the gun, I think, was a very crucial moment for a lot of Republican voters when he was just loading the shotgun. And by loading the shotgun, I mean not loading the shotgun at all.
No, that was pretty embarrassing. Tom, Brandon, Amy, do you guys want to give that update? I just texted you. Are we ready for that?
Whoa.
Do you have an update for that? The audience is losing their shit right now.
I just got a message that...
Yes.
We tweeted it out because she would have had to win 70.001% of all remaining votes. The math was impossible.
I'm not talking Georgia. By the way, NBC and CNN just said Trump won Georgia.
We said that an hour and a half ago.
Respect to Tom, Amy, and our team. They called it an hour and a half ago. Good for you, Tom.
I just got a message that Mr. President will give his victory speech any minute now. Just got a message.
Trump could give his victory speech any minute now.
Yes.
Well, we got to be ready for that. If that happens, we'll turn over to that in a minute.
He's probably very close to the convention center.
Dude,
and
this is the most Trump
It's
thing
the Trumpiest
ever.
thing ever.
I'm very sorry.
Everybody, go
I'm
to
very sorry.
sleep.
That's what they say. They are there, and he's gonna give this speech any minute now. That's what they says.
I love him.
Pat, you made a just getting at, which I don't think we've really talked about. So, it's funny because Trump is the most interesting and transformational political figure in modern American history. And so there's so much to say about him.
Yeah.
But so much of this race just comes down to conventional politics thing. How about the fact that, did you guys see, however you feel about him, did you guys see J.D. Vance on Rogan the other day?
I didn't get to see it.
Look, Harris headquarter and Trump headquarter. See the difference.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
What is that guy doing? Who is that? He's... breaking news per whoever the hell that is. He said that Trump is going to speak pretty soon to do the victory, and it makes sense. Why wait? There's no need to wait. Don't let more people go to sleep. Say, hey, don't go to sleep. Get the rumor out. Let everybody know I'm about to speak in a little bit. And this is going to be a big one. Do not go to sleep yet. This is going to be a big one. It's probably going to take, I'm guessing, a half an hour, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's quicker, but maybe it's quicker. These things, they just want to keep you there. Trump looks like he's going to declare victory. Wow.
Actually, my idiocracy theory on it, which isn't very interesting, Barack Obama was such a narcissist that he had to pick the dullard Joe Biden to be his VP because he didn't want anyone who would outshine him. Joe Biden is so insecure because even before he went senile, he was never very bright. And so he picked Kamala Harris, someone who could give him identity points, but wouldn't outshine him. And then Kamala Harris is so insecure that she had to pick someone who wouldn't outshine her. And now we've gotten to like 13 levels of stupid from where we started from.
The guy's name is Tampon Tim.
Yeah, I mean,
Nickname Tampon Tim. Class A pervert.
You could get.
Wait, you stepped
I
on the
think
joke,
that's
dog.
basically it. But he's a real weird guy, that Walls.
man.
We're gonna
That
find
is
out
such a
weird
good
stuff about
take.
him in
He
the
thinks
future.
That is such a good take. It's almost like incest or something like that. It's like you keep. That's such a good take. It's such a good take. So Obama, but that's not really why I don't think Obama did Joe. Joe, Obama was a young guy. He was what? He didn't even finish the term as a Senate. I think he was in the Senate for like 2 years, wasn't he? So he needed that old white guy to go with him. He was the first half black, but everybody called him black president. And then so they did but the joke is still funny though. It's Obama picked Biden, and Biden is not obviously as smart as he's not stupid, but he's not as smart in his prime, especially. He was not as smart as Obama. So then Obama gets in. He has to pick somebody not as smart as him, and then identity. So Joe was picked for his identity too, in my opinion. And then now Kamala gets in, and she picks the white dude for his identity, the hunting, the football coach, but he has to be more stupid than she is. And then I like the punchline where he's like, now we're 13 levels of stupid. That was dope.
Harris Watch Party, let's listen.
Votes to count. We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the Vice President tonight.
Uh-oh.
But you will hear from her
That means
tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation. So thank you. We believe in you. May God bless you. May God keep you.
Oh,
and go
my.
HU and go Harris. Thank you all.
It's over, guys. You can't steal at this point.
I mean, she's literally pulling the Hillary Clinton. And I want to say this, because I just asked this question. This actually bothers me about women in politics. Like, the 2 times that you've seen this, where they just go, I'm just too emotional to be able to come out and say anything, and I'm going to send a man out to just go, oh, we're not saying anything tonight because what? She's like crying in the back or freaking out. It's like, come out. Give a concession speech.
She's like jacked up on Xanax right now. She's not giving any speeches tonight. Let's just get that
Fair
clear.
point. But it's like there is something to me that's fundamentally weak about that. Like, there is a strength to losing and coming out and conceding and saying it's not what we hoped. Giving your supporters who are going to be out there crying, holding their stuffed animals. Remember Hillary Clinton's scene? It was very sad the night she lost because they were all so convinced. And to not even address them. To say, at least if you're saying we're not going to concede, have the strength to come out and say that yourself. Say, listen, this race is not over. Say something reassuring. I find that to be fundamentally weak and a further display of the many reasons why she was never qualified to be the president of the United States of America.
Nothing else to be said.
I agree. I hope Kamala Harris never concedes and she storms the Capitol on January 6th by herself.
That's really funny. They just need to have Candace and Dave. Sometimes you have too many people.
I feel like wasn't brought up enough during her run on the media side. And Candace, I actually want to hear your opinion on this. I don't believe, this goes back to foreign policy. Let's say America first. I don't think Kamala is fixing any issues here, but let's say she miraculously does.
Who is this?
It's not a women's issue, it's a Kamala issue, because I actually think Hillary Clinton was well respected. Believe it or not. But
oh my, I don't know. Sometimes you have too many people. Look at Candace, someone's looking at her.
a seat at the table. Do you think Putin's gonna respect her? She, Hamas, Hezbollah, anyone? Will anyone look at her and be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't screw with the United States?
I don't know who she is. It's not a good first impression. I have never seen her before in my life. She's some Trump personnel. Ugh. Trump's picked better looking ones than that. That's not. Are you sure that's a Trump one? Trump's got like, what's her name? Alibaba or whatever her name is. Damn model acting as a lawyer. Remember that one lawyer? I did a whole segment. Cyan's like, easy now. But I did a whole segment on that really attractive lawyer that he had. She looked like a damn, like, you know, runway model. She looked like a Miss America contestant. She was on Fox. This was way back. She doesn't look good enough to me to be a Trump one, but maybe she's on like the lower tier. Trump hires based on looks, in part, at least. Yeah, Dave is the most well-informed, and Candace is too. Let me go back. Candace is talking.
Why she's qualified. They're not saying why she's great. They're essentially saying, hey, this is a woman. Like Taylor Swift's speech was on her Instagram feed was, this is for the childless cat ladies. It makes women look like we are not qualified to be in leadership positions when they don't at least run.
Great point.
Yeah, when they don't at least run with a little bit of gumption by saying, here are the policies, this is why I'm strong, this is my opinion about the border, here's what we got wrong, here's how we can fix the economy, let's talk about, the numbers.
I mean,
we've seen a lot of weak women in politics, full stop, And
Candace Owens is not one of them. When I say that women shouldn't be involved in politics, I mean like 99.9%. I rock with Jen Perlman. She is a firebrand. She is a fighter. Whoever you like, there's a certain percentage I think that can be in the game, and Carrie Lake has that energy. I think Carrie Lake does everything Candace said right there.
For that city, or come through for the family, or somebody watches their dad or their mom cleaning for someone's house, and they're getting disrespected, and this kid is saying, wait till you see when I grow up, Mom. They're gonna know. My dad was a 99-cent store cashier. He was just sitting here, he left, 82 years old. This guy should have been dead 30 years ago based on what the doctor said, right? But they disrespected my dad. And I told him, I said, Dad, one day I brought family over and I said, Dad, the world is...
Eric Smith has entered the chat. Eric Smith says Trump should be winning by a landslide. I agree. I think it might turn out that, at least the Electoral College-wise, it might turn that way because unless Kamala wins a lot of these states, it will have to get over 300. But Trump got over 300 in 2016. I think he had like 304. Not this Kamala being behind by a hair, like she should be at 49. She should be at 35 or 40. Yeah, I agree. But it's still looking good if you're a Trump. 47.2 for Harris in Pennsylvania. Wow, that's not as close as you would want if you're her, according to The Guardian. Yeah, I have a link here too at it. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, Eric Smith. Some people are saying that we should do a wellness check on Kamala. Somebody has said Kamala needs to do somebody need to do a wellness check on her.
Some of the ladies right now that are getting loud and they're kind of pushing and challenging and talking about family, kids, the messaging that they're giving, respecting the husband, respecting the man, I think there's a major opening for an opportunity. I don't know if it's going to be 2028, 2032, or 36 or 40.
2035. I'm thinking about it.
But I do think there's an opening for it. It's got to be someone that's fully pissed off, saying, stop embarrassing us so much. I'm going to do it the right way. And I think there's millions of kids
you don't even
that
call
are waiting for this. Some of them are adults. Yes.
It has to be truth. It has to be, I don't want to say a masculine woman, but women genetically are more maternal, more caring.
They're still kind of being too soft to me, man. It's just not a woman. We don't need a woman football coach. We don't need a woman commander-in-chief. There's no reason that we need to have that. So I don't even know why this is a topic like this. It's kind of getting off the rails here.
More empathetic.
Correct.
And if you're the president of the United States, you have to be a beast. Yeah. You can't be overly emotional. Oh, I can't address tonight. I'm too sensitive. Oh, I'm on my period. I'm hormonal. You can't have that. You
We're off the rails.
Right. I mean, if you think about Margaret
I wasn't going to be controversial, but
no,
you just
I did it for you.
No, but I think
women have periods,
but
guys.
Look, it is a weird thing that people have trouble being honest about this, and it's stuff that we all know. Look at Golda Meir, look at Margaret Thatcher. These were the most masculine women
and
you
that's
could
okay
imagine.
If it's a masculine woman.
Listen, it's a masculine position. It's commander-in-chief. What are we pretending that that's not like a masculine role? Listen, when I drive my 5-year-old to her kindergarten, if a male teacher answered the door, I'd be like, what? No. Who's that guy? Get him out of here.
No, but
it's a bunch of women because that's who I trust to teach my little girl.
Right.
I don't know. And I'm not saying no woman could be the president, but yeah, that is a hurdle to overcome, that you'd have to prove that you have that kind of like masculine characteristic, because
I
it's
think
not
Hillary
being...
was a bit masculine, not in a bad way.
Yeah, she was.
In a beast way.
Yes, she was.
But, but she wasn't likable, though. It's hard. Like, why do we even why do we need a woman president? We got millions of men in the country. Why do we need a woman president for? I don't even know why we're even talking about it like this. But David Smith was on point.
A woman can't. And this is one of the things, actually, that Dr. Jordan Peterson kind of brilliantly discussed when that viral clip of him when he was debating that woman, and she asked the question, you know, why are, I'm making up a number here, 90% of the CEOs all men? And he said, why would a woman want to do that? Why would you want to work 80 hours a week? Why would you want to do these things? You make it
that video has like 500 million views.
Like, you should want to take on this job. And the reality is, I very much believe in traditional roles. I think the majority of women are good at traditionally feminine roles. Hence your point about, like, if a guy was like, I just really want to be a nanny for kids. I'm like,
no.
I don't like it.
Friends.
I just don't like it.
Nah, bro.
We naturally trust women
Not today.
to the care of children in the same way that we naturally trust men to the care of protecting us, you know, protecting the nation, protecting us when something happens, protecting us if there's a break-in.
Well, look, man, it's as simple as, like, if someone was breaking into my house in the middle of the night, and I told my wife to go handle it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Everybody in this room would immediately, you just lose all respect for me. You're like, you're just a failure as a person. Because we all understand that, like, no, in that situation, that's my job. That's my role.
I feel like
and so
Doug Emhoff asks Kamala to kill the spiders in the house. I feel like that's the type of dude he is.
You might be right about that. But there is something there where, and it's something that nobody talks about honestly, but women know this.
Oh, yeah.
Women know this
can't
more than
speak
men
about
do.
it because, like, you can't say I'm sexist. Like,
Why
I want
can't
to
you
be in
speak
politics
about it?
one day. But
by the way,
it's tricky when men speak
I'm
about
not
it.
going to lie to
What?
you. I was not expecting us to talk about women having periods at 1 o'clock.
No,
I didn't think that was going to be on the agenda.
I did
You
it,
guys
but
totally
we're
threw
dressed
me
in
off.
red. But there was
Guys,
something
we're
weird
following
about
the teleprompter script, and you guys are throwing us off here, please.
But I was going to say there was something. I remember I was speaking to, I had Andrew Tate on my podcast earlier this year, and he said, I don't know how to explain it, but there's something, and this I'm directly quoting him here, he said, but there's something really fundamentally gay about guys for Kamala, right? He's like, I don't know what the right word is, and what he meant by that, he's talking
Who
about
said this?
Andrew Tate. But
He's
what
right.
he meant by that, he's like, it's a bunch of men saying, I want this woman to be my boss.
Absolutely.
Like, I really want this woman, Kamala Harris, to be my boss. And there's
No,
something
it's not
that
even
is,
boss, because I don't think that about
the
women.
dynamic of that is weird.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
for the men that are wearing the, like, men for Kamala
Yeah.
shirts, like,
Yeah.
you do look at it and you're like,
Yeah.
you want Kamala to be your boss.
No, it's not. It's not a boss. Because I don't. Do you have a problem with a woman boss? It's not. No, it's not really a boss. This is different. In politics, we're talking about war. We're talking about. That's where I take it. Politics is war, informational war, and then at times kinetic war, and that's a man's position. It's different than, I don't know, you're working customer service and you have a woman boss. That's not. I don't have a problem with that. You know, like you would prefer to have a woman boss over. That's different. Politics here that we're talking about, no, that's a whole nother thing. Like, who's commander of your army is different than who's checking the spreadsheets. So, but yeah, he's right. There's something fundamentally gay if you say, I want this woman to be my commander in chief. There's millions of men around. Why isn't your position, if you don't like Trump, well, where are the other men? What is going on?
Boss.
And it's not really that far off the rails. I did a whole thing about it. Like, women was a big part of this, and it didn't turn out. It looks like it didn't turn out that women turned out or was a big part of it. Try to scare them with abortion and all that. But Kamala didn't win. Hillary didn't win. Why are we afraid to say we don't want a woman to be president? That's not a role we want a woman in. There's no functioning society that says, oh yeah, I want a woman to be the commander of the army. I want a woman to be the commander in chief. I want a woman to send my men to war. No, that's why we have all this weird stuff happening, in part because we have a lot of women making decisions.
Like, you know, I don't know. It's a question that I think we're going to, a conversation that we're going to continue to have in America, especially with two failed female presidential candidates.
By the way, I want to come back to this, but we have a guest that just is joining us right now. Rob, if we have it ready, let me know.
Uh-oh, sounds like a big name.
We are ready. We have with us Cenk from Young Turks.
Are you serious?
Cenk, can you hear me?
I can, brother, I can.
Cenk.
Woo!
Be cool.
Love that reaction.
Cenk, first of all, you said you were going to do it. I respect you for joining us. I know it's 1 o'clock. You're up here with us. People can agree or disagree, say whatever they want about you. You've been a fighter since day one.
Yeah.
And you and I have had some of the best conversations together, respectfully disagreeing, and I appreciate that about our relationship together. However, being on tonight, I was hearing that you were giving your message and you were a little bit somber about what's going on right now with the story. DNC chair just came out and said she's not going to come out to give the speech tonight. Trump right now is on his way to Palm Beach to maybe give his victory speech. New York Times just came out saying Trump's going to win 299. We had the Rasmussen CEO on, Mark Mitchell, giving his perspective. Where do you stand right now with 1 o'clock in the morning with Kamala versus Trump?
Yeah, she can still win, but
no, she can't. No, she can't, bro. It's not, no.
Okay.
Not without
you guys
problems.
Want to hear the full sentence?
No.
But she is still losing, and Donald Trump is likely to win. So, look, on the Young Turks, we're honest. And so we've been covering it honestly the whole time. I said that Donald Trump had a better chance of winning about a week ago, and I've been saying it for about a month. At the end, a bunch of polls that came out said that Kamala Harris was likely to win, but it looks like they were wrong.
Okay?
And so right now, as things stand,
is he okay?
I just came off the Young Turks show where I lit into the Democratic Party. Bunch of losers.
Liz Cheney.
Corporate Democrats.
Yeah.
I hate them. They've cost us election after election.
Is he gonna
They're
cry?
corrupt.
You okay, bro?
And they lost, it looks like, to a syphilitic clown. Total moron, con man, Donald Trump.
Is he okay?
So
he sounds like he can't
if you
breathe.
lose to a buffoon like Donald Trump twice, what does that make you?
So let me ask you. Hang on, guys.
Something looks off, doesn't it?
I got an echo, by the way.
I want to.
It's an echo, probably.
Because can you listen? Hang tight, Cenk. Question for you. A question that you're a business guy. You've been running a business for a while. You're not with one of these mainstream guys. You're not MSNBC. You were in the past. You came from you left. You said you're going to do your own thing. Young Turks, it has a history of doing great things, millions of subscribers on what you've been able to pull off. But let me ask you, are you at a point where maybe the American people are just sitting there looking at a few policies being presented by the Democrats saying, this is just weird? Are you at a point that you're willing to accept that some of the directions the party's gone, they're losing Democrats? Democrats are leaving
Cenk has
the
said
party
that.
because it just doesn't sound like the John F. Kennedy Democrats from 50, 40, 60 years ago. It's just a very weird party today. Is that where you are, or no, you're just think they have bad leaders?
I agree, Mike.
So it depends on which side of the policy you're talking about.
Chunky yogurt.
So if you're saying economic policies, our economic policies are super popular. So paid family leave, which most Republicans agree with.
Yeah.
Higher wages, most Republicans agree with.
No,
Money
you
out
don't.
of politics, most Republicans agree with.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But when you talk about some of the social issues, I warned some of my leftist friends, do not go too extreme.
They did.
I believe in trans rights, but saying that trans detainees should get taxpayer-funded surgeries makes no sense, and I knew that it would be deeply unpopular.
But I don't think that's what this is about, though.
Leftists sat there and said, no, we know everything, Cenk.
Kamala didn't make it about that.
You've got 27 million subscribers, but you don't know anything. This is going to be super popular. So my leftist friends, how'd that turn out for you? So we are honest on the.
But that's not what this election isn't about. Taxpayer-funded transgender affirming care. That's not what's happening. So I don't know. No.
So you've got to be.
No, this more. I think the Liz Cheney thing. I don't think that's a good idea. It hurts the identity. Liz Cheney, for number one, comes across more as a boss than Kamala Harris. So that's not a good kind of side by side. And people look at her like her dad, and it's just, it kind of muddies the water. And Kamala's just a bad candidate. No, that's not the right take there, Cenk.
Keeping it real. We're populists. But hear me now, and you'll quote me later. Donald Trump is a crook, and he's going to rob you guys blind.
Dave, let me ask one, and it'll come to you. Let me ask one, I'll come to you.
I wouldn't say that. I don't. That's going too far for me. Mike Has Bad Knees is right. Their economic policies are popular because most people are fine with being bribed with their own money, and they don't even realize it.
Cenk, we have Dominic Tarczynski here and Dave. They have a question. They'll come to you in a minute. But let me ask you this question. Your opinion about Trump? You and I talked about it when you were on the podcast last time. You said you thought you were a better businessman than him. What has he done in his life? Well, we had that conversation. I totally get it. I even brought it up on Rogan's podcast that I don't agree with you there, but it's your position. I totally understand. Here's the question I got for you. Your show with Anna Kasparian, the two of you guys together. I've been watching Anna closely, and a lot of people have. She's kind of right now like, dude, what the F is going on? This doesn't make any sense. Why are you attacking me? There is a major...
I'm just pausing it so we'll pick it back up where he's going because this is a good discussion. I agree, Eric. I don't know what they're talking about with being a criminal. That's not I wouldn't phrase it as that. They've become more palatable because I couldn't even listen to them before. But they're not based, though. They're still Trump derangement syndrome types. I did a video on my other channel kind of reacting to, it's just one of those react type channels, to Anna Kasparian. She was dissing Trump for which one? It was one of the no tax things he was doing. And I was like, why would you be dissing? I thought you were for the people. Why would you? And the way she was dissing him didn't make any sense other than just to diss him. And she was saying, well, he did this racist thing or that. And that was recent. So they're more reasonable, but they're not based, though. That was Trump derangement syndrome for him to say, well, he's a criminal and this. No. If you want to say he's a warmonger, he supports this and that, the other country, yeah, that makes sense.
Community that is thinking Anna, who went from the position she had 5 years ago, 7 years ago, some would have called her maybe a socialist, where she is kind of like right now, maybe even becoming a libertarian. I'm not saying a Republican or a conservative, but maybe a little bit of a libertarian independent. You're around her the most. You're seeing that taking place.
Before he answers, what I would say Anna's becoming is there's this big Maha thing with RFKJ, Joe Rogan. Who else is that? Jillian Daniels, or Daniel, the one that's doing the podcast with Bill Maher. Even Bill Maher's in that too. I think that's where Anna Kasparian's closest home is this RFKJ place. But I think she's more anti that country over there. That's the problem. RFKJ is not. But I think that's where she would be.
Why do you think she is moving? How are they losing someone like Anna Kasparian, who's very talented, very capable, very formidable? Why do you think?
So again, it depends on if we're talking about economic issues or social issues. So in economic issues, she still believes every single thing that she believed. On crime and homelessness, I would argue, and I have argued with her on air, that we haven't changed our position at all. What happened was the Democrats did a switcheroo in California. So we voted for a ballot measure where they didn't tell us that they would take some felonies and move them to misdemeanors.
Yep.
Well, if you don't put it in the ballot measure, how the hell are we supposed to know? So now California is reversing that tonight.
Yep.
Because you know who likes crime? No one. No one. Okay.
It's like Prop 36
so
or something.
If you're a leftist out in California and you pretend there is no crime and we should move like domestic assault into a misdemeanor, we disagree with you, but we've always disagreed with you. So I think that it's really the Democratic politicians that are corrupt and a few leftists online that have gone too far. But when you talk about the core of the Bernie Sanders economically populist positions, they are still massively popular, and
I
tons
agree.
of conservatives agree.
They haven't changed their positions on those. I agree. My take is I don't care what you label me. Let's move on to the next thing. Here's my take. I don't care. Do you have a better take? All I care about is your take better than mine. If your take is better than mine, then I will absorb your take. Other than that, so I don't care what you call me.
Agree with that.
Yeah, I'd like to ask the question. Hi, Cenk. Nice to see you. It's Candace. Hi. So my question for you would just be, I mean, I think we can all agree that this is a tremendous referendum on the left, right? I mean, you brought out Taylor Swift, you brought out Beyonce, you've brought out LeBron James. You guys have used every vocabulary word available to you to explain to the American people that Trump is a dictator, he's literally Hitler. And the American people seem to be rejecting that resoundingly, right? Does that at all signal...
Bars.
Let me just ask you blankly, what does that signal to you as someone who I think has contributed to that rhetoric? Is it a signal to you that just all the American people support a dictator, or does it maybe make you go, maybe I'm missing something here?
Yeah.
She's smart.
I'm not missing anything. So I've been telling the corporate Democrats, stop kissing the ass of the donors. They're not here to help us.
But you
They're
didn't
here to
address
rob
anything
us.
she said, though.
By the way, I would tell the Republicans the same thing. I would tell you guys the same thing. Trump's donors are going to rob you blind.
Well,
so these corporate Democrats
that's
took
true.
the donor money and they ran campaigns that were not populist. That what they did was they ran campaigns that were anodyne, boring, didn't actually.
That part is true, but he never addressed what Candace said. But that part is true. The donors are going to run you dry, and the problem is, would Trump have won without the donors? That's what they want. But for me, if he has to win with the donors, then we lose. That's the kind of the difference where I'm at. But that part is true.
Attack Trump on his number one problem, corruption, the fact that he's a fake populist. You know why? Because they don't even understand populism. They are the establishment.
But that's irrelevant, though.
So the real
but that's irrelevant, though. Candace said it's a referendum on your position on Trump derangement syndrome, and that's true. I don't know why Cenk can't just say, yeah, you're right, and then say this, because this is not addressing anything she said. It's just, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm tired of this fake, I can't agree because it's like we're kind of debating. I don't have time for that. I'm a grown-ass man. Royce White had a conversation with Dan Blazarian, I think his name is. I didn't know him until he had that PBD conversation. And they were talking to each other like grown-ass men. And that's where I'm at. I'm not here for this destiny stuff and this jank stuff. Like, no, I'm right. And then you proceed to not address anything that she said. I don't have time for that. It's just childish.
problem is the establishment of the Republican Party like Mitch McConnell and the establishment of the Democratic Party like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Nancy Pelosi.
I don't think he's drunk or anything. I think he's fighting I think he's fighting a bad echo, so it's really hard to talk is what it comes across to me.
I do not have a question. I would rather have a comment as a member of the parliament, European Parliament, who was called a fascist, Islamophobe. I was called all these names. And I'm happy that we have this moment of silence now, because I would like to remind you, these people are lecturing us about unity.
What is Cenk doing?
So I would like to remind you again, they are talking and lecturing us about unity. So now you have a chance to practice what you preach and show the whole nation what the unity in democracy means. You have to have a class to lose. Because if you don't have a class when you are losing, you have no right to win.
Wow. I've been dissing that dude the whole night, and he dropped the best line. It was kind of cool how he started out quiet, and then that was dope. That was a moment. Look at Cenk. Cenk knows what to do. The Polish guy got the USA chance.
Cenk, go for it. Go ahead, Cenk.
Yeah, this brother isn't even American. So I don't
So
know what the hell he's chanting USA for. I'll
so
chant
what?
USA, not you, okay? And so,
wow.
second of all, you're talking about losing with class when that bitch Donald Trump tried to steal an election, tried to terminate the Constitution, or set off a riot, that he didn't mind if his vice president was murdered, bum rushed the Capitol, tried to destroy our democracy. He's the very worst in how
he's going to
losing
MSNBC, destroy our
no class at all. Here I am telling you that I think the Democratic Party did it wrong. I think they ran a wrong campaign. They're relying on the donors. They've got the wrong strategy. So we are honest about what goes wrong in the Democratic Party and what goes in the Republican Party. Are you guys honest about the fact that Donald Trump tried to steal an election? He's got no class at all.
Patrick, if I say just one sentence.
Cenk.
This makes for better streaming. The PBD coverage is lit. This is great stuff. I'm not going anywhere. But it would have been better discussion if it was Anna. Anna's more real than he is.
Go for it.
Okay.
Dominic.
Guys, if I can ask you for another moment of silence.
Who the hell is this guy?
He's eating you up right now, though.
Are you Viktor Orban's cousin?
Okay. Yes, I'd like to have a conversation. I would like to answer. You asked me why I am in US now. Because I was invited and I came here with my passport.
I'm sorry, he's dropped. Oh, wow. This is not good for
I was invited, Patrick invited me as a politician to come to US because as a European, as a Polish, I do recognize US as a leader of the free world and I pay my respect to this country.
Wow.
Good.
And I came here, my friend, and I came here because I used to live under communism. My country was under communism, and Reagan with John Paul II freed our country, and I will be always grateful to the Republicans of the United States for the freedom of Poland and Europe.
Oh my God.
And my presence here in America is my way to pay respect to those who freed the world from the communism. And that was America and John Paul II. And I do not want communism back. And Kamala is a communist.
Wow. So I don't agree with all of that. I will say this: he got 8 though. Just stop. He getting dap and everything. Just stop. Sometimes this is where destiny fails. Sometimes I'm just gonna take the L. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? You got me, bro. I'm not gonna try to pick in like with this. He overall absolutely just annihilated Cenk Uygur. Cenk is probably disappointed that he did this call at this point.
It is. Furthest thing from communist. Her problem is the exact opposite.
I agree. I knew he was going to go there. She's not a communist, but the general, I mean, just from a design standpoint, he again started out, shh, let's be quiet, and then rose to the crescendo, to the climax, and had everybody hype again. Cenk got destroyed, man. That's not a good moment for Cenk. That's why everybody was smiling. Everybody in the moment knew it was a moment, including Cenk Uygur.
She'll do anything for a corporate donor, which, by the way, she shares with Donald Trump. And by the way, I came here and my family came here because we love America, and I'm always going to fight for America.
Okay, so then you agree. Then why did you try to call him out for why? Not good. I think he is shook now. He's kind of shaking a little bit. He's shaking a little bit.
What do you love about America the most? When you say, I will always fight for America, what is America to you?
Good question. Man, this stream is lit.
So it's freedom, it's opportunity, it's justice. We lived across from a place called Fair Chance Farm, and that is the essence of America. All we want is equality of opportunity for us to have a shot and our kids to have a shot at the American dream. That's why I'm a populist. I believe in the average American, not in the donors class, not the billionaires. And I got news for you. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's a giant billionaire. He's not a populist. He's not for the average American. He's going to get more tax cuts. He's going to get deregulation. They're going to rob this place blind. You can disagree now, but you will agree with me later. Wow. Because we've always been fair. We've always been honest. And those guys are going to do nothing but deliver for themselves and not for you. We should be delivering for the average American. Our housing prices are through the roof. Why? Because of Wall Street. Because of the private equity guys buying off all of our homes.
Well, we agree with that.
You should be fighting against that, not helping support billionaires rob the place blind.
But
you didn't really talk about what you love about the country, though. I mean, he can't talk about. I was literally talking with my 8-year-old. My 5-year-old was off somewhere. With my 8-year-old, and somehow I forget what we were talking about. We're talking about the Electoral College. I'm like telling them how it works. They vote in the state, but then each state has a number of votes that get sent to the federal election. It's to balance out the areas. And I said, even, son, that, imagine Denver has 1 million people hypothetically, and another city has 100,000. If you take a vote, the interest of that city is always going to outweigh that other one. So we have a constitutional republic. They, back in the day, I told them all this, through horseback, rode the votes to D.C., they counted them, and that provided a balance. And I told my son, there is no country that has ever existed on the face of this planet that has started with, in the same manner that this country has. And then we went over all that. That's what I love. I mean, that's what I love. This is unique. There's nowhere else ever, or that's ever been created or anything like this. And he runs to the Wall Street and all that, but that's not answering the question, though.
Cenk, there's a part of it that you're right. We talked about that earlier, where we said 4 years ago, it took $75,000 your salary to buy a house. Right now it's $120,000. But that happened under Harris and Kamala, Harris and Biden. So, I mean, these are some of the things where even right now, Powell is lowering the rate. Nothing's happening. Interest rates are not dropping. So
yeah, they lowered it. That's dangerous stuff, because once you lower it during these times, you could get stagflation, even though, the market is up overall. Cyan, $2 super chat, says typical leftist with Trump derangement syndrome and not answering questions. And he's a very smart guy. He can answer the questions, and he's being purposely dodgeful. And I don't know why he needs to be contentious. Patrick Bet-David is not contentious with him. The audience would turn and clap for him if he was being real up there. The audience would not be booing him if he was just real, like, yeah, you're right. Trump's not for me, but we got to listen to where the people are at. Cenk said that before. So I don't know why he just came in. He's always that. I don't know if he's acting or if that's just how he always is. Thanks again, Cyan.
So the average person is just sitting there saying, look, we gave you guys a shot. I thought he was going to be the unifier. I thought he was going to be the peace. I thought she was going to fix the border. She never once visited that place until it was too late. Don't you just look at this and realize they just didn't deliver on their promises and the ideas are outdated and doesn't work? Are you able to say that, or no, we just need a different leader? Again, same question.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
Patrick, you know that I fought tooth and nail against Joe Biden. I even ran against him in the primary. And I called out everybody who was pretending.
Eric Smith in the chat, somebody else confirm. It's over. If they said Trump called for Pennsylvania. I'm still going to go through this because this is interesting and I can upload it to my other channel, so I'm being a little selfish here. I could fast forward to the real time, but let's finish this off.
That he was young and dynamic, and I said he's not on the right track. So the problem isn't Democrat versus Republican. And a lot of Republican voters understand this, and they call it the uniparty. Corporate Republicans and corporate Democrats are on the same team. And I appreciate right-wing voters who realize that Mitch McConnell's a crook. And I wish Democratic voters would replace and realize that Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden and all those guys are also crooks. So all of those establishment Republicans and Democrats have let Wall Street and the donor class rob us. And that is why we have these rules that allows private equity to buy all the homes and drive up our prices. We've got to replace them with populists, true populists. That's the key.
Vince, you got to stop dropping your mic. You're scaring the crap out of people.
He's being
serious. Is that him?
Cenk.
Just want to say this.
BRB, Cenk, because they just called Pennsylvania for Donald J. Trump.
It's a wrap. People will be partying tonight. It's a wrap. It's over. Pennsylvania got called tonight? I didn't even expect that. It's over. Aiden Ross made $600,000. Aiden Ross made $600,000. He bet on Trump.
By the way, there's one other end. You know what the other end is? Tom just told me they also called Alaska.
It's over.
Alaska.
He only needed, what, 23?
I'm just saying that's going to be done with. So at this point,
it's
that's
over.
It, man.
Officially
that's
over.
it. Donald Trump's president.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Wow.
This is pretty typical. So maybe 2020 was an anomaly.
One last note, Patrick.
Come on. Trump.
So, Cenk, go for it. I'll give you the last word before we come back over here. Go ahead, Cenk.
Yeah. So, guys, I love that USA chant. Keep that loyalty to America, not to politicians. So I have no loyalty to any Democratic politician, and you shouldn't have one to Republican politicians. So hold Trump accountable. Please be honest. And if he does right, then I'll say it. But if he does wrong, please, for God's sake, value America more than any politician, including Donald Trump. Thank you, guys.
Please turn him off.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, buddy.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Thank you.
It's just the timing of it. It's kind of party atmosphere now.
By the way, listen, let me tell you. Can I tell you guys something real quick? Let me tell you one thing real quick.
270.
Watch what happened here. Just think about the list of people that were willing to come and talk here tonight.
Yeah.
Not everybody agrees. I mean, this was not a fight, but we're able to have these conversations in a place like this. This is what America's looking for.
Yep.
Are we able to get people to talk? And then you get to decide. I disagree. I agree. Great. That's what's working right now, and I'm happy to see that take place. Tom,
And also,
Tom,
by the
are
way,
you guys? Do you have any other update except for Pennsylvania? Go ahead, tell us what you got here.
Hello?
By 5 million. Look at this, Candace.
Yep.
What? Is that Pennsylvania?
Oh my God.
That's not
The
Pennsylvania.
future
Go ahead, Tom.
We have a winner.
Hello?
Mike.
So I guess everybody was
Mics
right.
Mics are not on, guys. Tom, grab my mic. Here.
Everybody said when that assassination attempt happened and Trump got up with the fight, they were like, it's a wrap. I was like, no, it's not. Looks like, yes, it was.
And It is a mathematical impossibility at this hour for the few votes that are left in Pennsylvania, if they were won entirely, to put it back over. So this election is not done. Wisconsin is probably going tonight. It's very, very close to
270 is all it
mathematical
takes.
impossibility. Arizona, they're going to need a week to count in Maricopa County. Everything else has come in. Michigan, probably, I could flip a coin on Michigan right now, but he could win Michigan. And Nevada is probably going to be blue on the strength of all those unions.
Yes.
And so where we are, I think we are at 291 as the ultimate count.
Wow.
But right now at 270,
It doesn't matter.
we're done.
Yeah, we're done. we're done. It's just wow. I am surprised. You know, I always said if the process was fair, Trump would win easy.
Okay, check. Can you guys?
Maybe the process was fair. It does restore some trust,
Can you
to,
guys
at least to
hear me or no?
It's hard to do the audio with all those wireless mics and stuff. It's very difficult.
Check. Okay, Emily, what are you thinking?
You know, something Cenk said, I don't know why it just hit me now. It really bothers me because he says he loves America because it's the land of opportunity and justice. But do you know what the Democrats piss me off with the most? It's their way or you're stripped of your opinion and your voice. For example, Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. So now he's denying you of your opinion, or you're not smart, or you're garbage. What Cenk is forgetting, I can't say when Donald Trump wins, he's won this already, but we voted for him. Do we not count either?
I agree.
I just don't understand.
I agree completely.
Democracy chose Donald Trump. So if you're the party of unity and love and peace like you claim you are, then let's unite our differences. But no, it's their way or the high.
But my problem with that is, why do I need to unite with you? I don't need to unite with you. I'm not going to unite with you just to unite with you.
Way, and to me it just calls out their own hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And then I want to call out Vinny. He texted me something very smart. You know, we were thinking, what were the left thinking with Kamala?
Yeah.
So what were they thinking? But then Vinny points out their plan was to have Trump assassinated. So this was their plan B. Kamala was their plan B.
Yeah.
Plan A was to kill Trump, and that didn't work.
Yep.
And now they're eating their own words, we could say, for lack of a better term.
That's
I'm going to go back to Palm Beach, but thank you guys.
Thank you, Emily.
Oh, she's
Thank
going
you,
back to
Pat.
party.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. Where is she wrong? It looks like that's what it appears. I don't know that for sure. It appears like the plan was to off Donald Trump. That was the plan.
Drive safe. Okay, so Trump is working his way up. I think he's about to hit the stage any minute now. When he does, we're going to play it. So
yeah,
if some
this
of
is
the
a big
people that
moment.
want to watch it,
This
this
is
is
a big-
like, well, you
don't-
can't go anywhere. It's generals
Don't-
and platinum. You need the buses. To
This is
take
the
you
reason why we're
to
up.
your car.
Don't go
By the way,
anywhere.
can we take a moment here and do one thing? You know who we have to thank? Can we thank God for not bringing rain when it's at 70% chance?
Because they're half outside, I think.
Yesterday, we're all over here. Everyone's taking out their phones. They're like, Pat, 75% chance. I said, I don't know, man. I think he's going to make it work for us. He always does. And somehow, some way he did. To all the generals out there, respect to you guys for watching this and coming down here tonight as well.
Wow, Patrick Bet David.
What are you thinking before Trump hits the
Epic.
stage?
Let's
Epic
thank
stream.
Patrick Bet David! We're putting this all down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bring it all back home, brother.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Excellent
Dominic, you were on
job.
fire there with Cenk.
Yeah, he
I
was.
think you got to go on his show and you guys got to have a
That
nice
was
little
dope.
moment together. Some tells me, you know, we're about to see this. There's a guy with a British accent is going to invite you and Cenk, and he's going to have a good show. His name is
very
Piers
happy
Morgan.
to have some conversation. I'm very happy.
Pierce Morgan's been bringing everybody on his show.
Silence is just a one argument, and that's it. I'd love to have some. I don't mind. I mean, whenever I'm invited, I never said no. I'm like second or third time with you. I never said no. I always
You're
keep
a
my
fighter.
passport on me. So
You're a fighter. Dave, what are you thinking now? Are you surprised, relieved? Where are you at?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess not. Look, it seemed like this is where it's going through the whole night. I'm really not surprised. It's a remarkable night in American history.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say other than that. It's truly incredible. This guy.
The people have spoken. That's the
We've
end
never
of it.
seen anything like
Yeah.
the opposition that Donald Trump has faced.
Yep.
Certainly not in my lifetime. I'm 41.
He's the people's
There's never been
champ.
anything like it in my lifetime, where you have a former president who has the entire deep state, both the establishment of both political parties, the entire media, all of Hollywood,
Globalists.
all of the big donors, all against him. And the fact that he was somehow able to put this campaign together and pull it off, it speaks to his ability. It speaks to how truly just terrible at this the Democrats have become. I mean, it's just like, it's really, you know, we were just like saying this, you could not imagine that on January 6th of 2021, that a few years later, Donald Trump would take the White House back and take it in what, I'm sorry guys,
That's domination.
this is a blowout.
It's domination.
This isn't a close election.
No, it's not.
This is a landslide.
It's a classic blowout.
This is a new chapter in American history. And hey, I got to say this, although I disagree with a lot of his politics, you know, the last thing Cenk Uygur said, he was right about that. We shouldn't have loyalty to Donald Trump.
I said it too.
We should never have loyalty to any politician. They are to be our servants. That's the way America works,
It's
okay?
supposed to work.
They call them public servants because the idea is that they work for us.
Yep.
And we've gotten away from that over the last 100 years or so. But you know what? Listen, Donald Trump did some good things in his first term, and he made a lot of mistakes. And it is our job to push him to be better this term. Like that, you know, tonight, enjoy the
he
win.
said day
everybody
one he's
celebrate.
gonna
But like starting tomorrow,
commute or
that should be the attitude. That we have expectations for what he's going to get done.
Day
Look,
one.
if the Republicans took the Senate tonight and Donald Trump wins a landslide, build the freaking wall already, man. Like no excuses.
Yep.
Like, let's
Yep.
ask. And dear Lord, can we get out of this disaster in Ukraine? Why the hell is any of our money going toward it? And that's the type of
Trump's
stuff we
not
should be
getting out of
holding
that.
them
I don't think we'll see.
accountable
We'll
for.
see. We'll see.
So it's a very good message you're giving. And by the way, you know, something tells me with this guy, how many guys are thinking, if it's called today, this guy's already getting to work tomorrow?
It's called.
Knowing the way he is.
Absolutely,
He's
he is.
already talking to who's the chief of staff, hiring, firing, all
He's
that. I mean,
already
it's
been at work. He's already
started
been
right now.
talking to
They're already talking
Zelensky
at
and
that
all that.
dinner with Elon Musk. What do you think they're talking about? They're out there to take action. And 3 entrepreneurs.
Day one, Donald Trump said day one he's going to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht, the guy who made this, I'm not an expert in it, this dark web where people were selling, it's like basically, I don't know, like a Facebook marketplace for illegal stuff, basically, or not legal, but, you know, all that kind of stuff. And he got hemmed up. And Donald Trump went to the Libertarian Party and said, day one, I'm going to commute his sentence. So the day one, that needs to be commuted. It needs to be done. I said there was just a quid pro quo, but, you know, with the support of the Libertarians, then I'll do it. Comic Dave Smith said he was going to support Donald Trump. Obviously, he doesn't see eye to eye with Donald Trump. So Libertarians, even if it wasn't a quid pro quo, they still lived up to the quid pro quo to me.
Him, Musk, Dana. You got 3 guys that are sitting there, you know, talking about what they're going to be doing next. Vince, what are you thinking?
The Democratic Party became Icarus. They had an opportunity.
Flew too close
They
to
had
the
an
sun.
opportunity to pull the country together, do great things, and they chose to divide. They chose to allow a small fringe to take control. And it was a madness that we witnessed. We started seeing it when we saw Afghanistan, how we left Afghanistan. And people said something's wrong here. Then we saw Ukraine. We saw the Middle East blow up. We started seeing this demasculation of men. Benghazi. We saw, you know, all this stuff started going crazy. And we started saying, look, this is not who we are as a nation. And our government, one thing we didn't talk about tonight is that we started seeing that our country was dying. That our rate of replacement is supposed to be at 2.1, our birth rate. We've been at 1.6 now for almost the last 10 years. And the Democratic Party turned to a death cult. Like my friend said tonight, abortion, abortion, abortion. The woman starts her campaign in an abortion clinic.
Yeah.
It was an insanity.
I told my wife today, I can't believe I'm watching MSNBC, and it felt like 50% of the discussion was about abortion. This has nothing to. It was just covering the election. Bunch of cackling hens talking about abortion.
That I think it was more the Democrats losing than Donald Trump winning. They went insane. The American people said now it's time for a recheck.
It was both, but
and they have it.
Trump is a beast
they got their butts kicked
politician.
tonight.
So I won't say that. Trump is a beast. He is a beast. The McDonald's, even the garbage truck, and all the difference. He's just a Harlem. Remember Harlem? That was a fun one. Man, he is one hell of a. I said it before. Donald Trump should be on Mount Rushmore. That's how important he is. It doesn't matter what you think about him, if you like him or not. He's that important, that influential. You can't study American history without Donald Trump being one of the early chapters after you get through kind of like the start of the country.
And it's a good butt kicking.
By the way, somebody very interesting just congratulated Trump. This is the last guy that you would have thought would have done it. Mark Cuban just said, congratulations,
no.
Donald Trump.
That's not the last person.
Fair and square. Damn.
That's not. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. He's just a political whore. It'd be like a whore looking for someone's dick to suck for $20. There's no surprise there. The Kamala Harris campaign allegedly told him, "Bruh, stop acting like you work for us. We don't know you like that." So of course he's gonna. And he had already said, "Yeah, I'll work with Trump." He needs an in. He doesn't want to be frozen out. So there's no surprise there that Mark Lubavitch, whatever the hell his real last name is supporting Trump.
By the way, I'm not clapping at that bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not clapping.
Neither am I.
Mark Cuban has been talking shit
Yeah, I'm not clapping that bullshit. No, hell no.
about Donald Trump and how he's loving Kamala. To hell with that flip-flopping bullshit.
And now he thinks that this
You
congratulations.
can apply that to me too. I've been trash talking Trump as well. I'm not changing any of my take. I have the same take as Mark. I say congrats, and I don't even really talk to. I'm not doing congrats to. I never would say that. Congrats to MAGA or anybody who wanted Trump to win. Obviously, you won fair and square. You're never the cheaters. It's the other side. But yeah, congrats to Elon too. Godspeed. I have no problem with that. I'm not going to clap it though, no, because I don't believe he's sincere.
Relations will save him.
Yeah.
No. It's time to pay, baby.
And that
Time to pay.
Dominic, and that's the point, guys. No more of this other side coming around.
No.
What's it, Dave?
That's why I was saying, what are you talking about with unity? The unity is bending the knee. I don't need unity from you. They arraigned Donald Trump 4 times with the mugshot. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but the whole list of things. I need J6ers freed immediately. I need Tina Peters, the election. Oh, shit, that was a state, wasn't it? Damn, Trump can't do anything there. Trump has a sentencing. We got to talk about that. He has sentencing in November. This is getting weird. Even though I don't think they have any chance at the 14th Amendment because the people have spoken. I mean, if you're trying to do 14th Amendment Section 3, you literally want to start some type of problem. But that is still a possibility now, I would say less than 5%.
Liz Cheney, all these people trying to come in. No. He has to put his foot down and say, guys, this ship has sailed. To hell with you guys. You're staying behind because we're moving forward. Plain and simple.
You have to remember, they called you garbage.
And Nazis.
They called you uneducated.
Yeah.
And basically, you are nothing. You are nothing.
Candace,
Black people,
what do you think?
they owned you.
Listen,
they don't have to make it. You have a duty to vote.
Yes.
You have a duty. They
Vote for
own
them.
you.
Yeah, vote for them, yeah.
That is the problem. We can't forget about it. This 4 years was a disaster for the world.
Yes.
Yeah, I
can
agree,
see
but what
from
does that
Europe.
mean?
I can tell.
Well, I agree, but what does it mean? To me, it means Elon Musk. You talk about for free speech. You helped Trump win. Trump won, but you're not consistent enough. You haven't changed any terms on your platform to be free speech. You're a leader in the social media. That's why I think Jeff Bezos is changing a little bit, because X is the newspaper, not the Washington Post. The Washington Post has to beg X to put a link on there that can get somewhere. My point is, you've got to live what you preach, and that's how you do it. You free up these avenues that allow this momentum to carry to whoever can get it. If the libertarians can get it, or whatever group can get it, everybody has the basic Constitution rights instead of, the misinformation, all that. So I think you've got to target it, and First Amendment is number one. You've got to target it even more than immigration is the First Amendment, because we can't have any type of sustained success here without the ability to communicate online through the algorithms, putting pressure on YouTube, Alphabet, all that. That's how you get back at it. You open up the playing field so the people can continue to speak.
Hell, the first decision Biden made was lift up the sanctions on Russia.
Candace, what do you think? What do you think about Mark Cuban coming out congratulating Trump and Musk?
Yeah, so I'm going to compartmentalize here. You know, he went so woke at the end there, he started looking like Rosie O'Donnell. Truly, that's what happened with Mark Cuban. But I have to say, for him to do a 180 that quickly and to acknowledge that he won fair and square, it does send a signal to the other wokies, right? Mm-hmm. That this is what you have to accept. They won fair and square, and we don't want to hear tomorrow anybody, well, they're going to cry. I actually do want to watch MSNBC tonight like Dave does, and I do want to watch them cry a little bit, but I do think it's classy. I think it's classy that he came out and he acknowledged that we won fair and square.
I'm not going that far.
Doesn't undo anything. He doesn't deserve a seat at the table.
Yeah,
but
that's
he
fair.
lost, and I think that's probably why he owns if he still owns the basketball team, because he understands that when you lose, you lose. You don't, you go home and try to run a better candidate, maybe someone who can string together a sentence next time.
But here's what I want to see.
By the way, I think
I need to see the J6ers pardon immediately. That's day one too. I don't need any. This honeymoon period is not going to last very long. You're not going to like me if day one we're not seeing like some of that type of stuff. Well, Ross Ulbricht has to be done. He already promised that. You're not going to like me if he doesn't commute Ross Ulbricht's sentence. That's not I want him to be commuted. That's not a passionate kind of movement or policy or whatever decision for me, but he promised it. So we can see quickly what's going on. He said some bull about, I'm going to root out anti-Semitism day one before noon. I need to know what is that going to be? He's going to be signing executive order. That's what he meant when he said, I'm going to be dictator on day one. He didn't mean it literally. Everybody who becomes president nowadays, they got 20 executive orders and they sign them. And it's only within the executive branch. It's not legislation. So it's not a dictator. A dictator has the executive, judicial, and legislative branch. That's a dictator. I don't know why we have to explain that to grown adults, not this chat. I'm preaching to the choir. But what does that anti-Semitism nonsense look like? That's a problem. So it's a party tonight. The honeymoon's not going to last long, though. I want to see Schedule F. I want to see Schedule F day one. He did that October of 2020, right before the election. He said, I want to set it up where the executive commander-in-chief can fire anybody in the executive. I don't know if it's anybody. I have to read it again. But more people taking away some of these protections from these federal employees that can't get fired easily. I'm the boss of the executive branch. My executive orders remind you I'm the boss, and I can fire you at any moment. That means all the gears of the engine, you drive a car, so it's almost like you're the president, and the executive branch is your car. You're pressing the accelerator on the gas. Like, remember, Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan earlier, but he's pressing the accelerator, and the gears, the people that are supposed to work for him in the engine, are not turning. They're fighting against him, in fact. It's like you're trying to make the car go, and the car is going the opposite way against you. And the Schedule F is to say, I can take it to a mechanic, take you out, and substitute you with a part that's going to make this engine go. I need to see that. That can't wait. These are fundamental things that have to happen immediately. He looks like he has a mandate over 300 electoral college votes is what it looks like it will be. And I think that's what would qualify. Anything over 300 is a mandate from the people. And he needs to start with that pressure now. So let's see what happens.
He's a good candidate for the left. I just think he is. I think Mark Cuban is a good candidate for the left.
No, he's not. For president?
I think he's a formidable candidate for the left.
No, he's not.
Yeah, look, I've met him. He's very kind in person. He really is. I don't know what
I used to like him a lot.
On that made him drift so far left there at the end. I was actually surprised because as somebody who is a business owner, you would think that he would be more sympathetic.
Sure, yeah.
So
who cares about Cuban?
well, at least he's acknowledging it. I want to know what Joy Reid is saying.
Oh, she's losing her mind.
She's blaming white women.
I want to know what Rachel Maddow is saying.
Oh, she's losing her mind right now. But Jay, let me ask you guys a question, Candace. So let's say Trump, it looks like Trump's going to win. But then, because we didn't show it, PBD, but I think people saw, Jamie Raskin has said on camera a couple months ago, he goes, even if he wins, we're going to do Article 14, Chapter 3, inside
Section
of
3,
it, which basically says, if any president or ex-president has like helped or incited an insurrection, this is a video of him bragging.
It's
My
any
question
federal
is for you
position.
guys, if they do, and we'll play this video, if they do try to play this bullshit
Yeah,
and
it's
try
a
to get him
problem.
off for an insurrection that didn't happen, what are the American people going to do?
Oh, it's a problem.
What are we going to do? Because guess
Oh,
what?
it's a
We didn't do
problem.
shit when they tried to kill him the first time. We didn't do shit when they tried to kill him the second time. Is this going to be the straw to break
Absolutely,
the
it
camel's
would
back?
be. You've never heard me say that. You never, and I'm not talking about violence. I'm just saying that it will be I don't know what it would be, but it would be a serious civil problem. It won't happen. It can't happen.
Like, because they're going to try. Candace, I don't trust. Jamie Raskin is one of the deepest state swamp creatures that there is.
Yep.
That guy's going to try it for sure because they just lost.
He can't try it on his own though. If there's no appetite for it, then he's a swamp creature, but he doesn't create this stuff. If he doesn't have the Soros or whoever, I don't know who's really running this stuff. If it's Alex or whoever Soros. If he doesn't have Nancy and Chuck and all them, if they don't have the energy for it, it's not going anywhere. Raskin is dirty, but he's not the guy who creates the energy.
I don't think they're going to be able to get away with anything like that. I think they're going to have to try to undermine him in other ways like they did in his first term.
That's why
that's
why it's done. If you don't know, the 14th Amendment, Section 3 is the insurrection clause. And believe it or not, if Congress, after they're sworn in, was it January 6th? Is that when they're sworn in? Whenever they're sworn in, the new Congress is sworn in before the president takes over on the 20th. The new president's sworn in. I mean, the new Congress is sworn in at the new year. It's the 119th Congress, I believe. They could pass a law. It's no different than passing a law to change the name of a post office. As all they need is a majority in the House and the Senate and the president to sign it. And they could say, and the law would be one line. It could say Donald Trump was an insurrectionist. He's being disqualified based on Amendment 14, Section 3. That's it. The whole law could be just that. If they pass that law through the House, Senate, and the president signs it, or if it's veto proof, then Trump is disqualified. The Supreme Court has already heard on this on the local case in New Mexico, and they basically said, yes, that's the wrap. I don't think they would even hear the case. But that's why it's kind of done that way. That's why I said before you arraign Donald Trump 4 times, you have to impeach him. Why? Because the people have to speak. Congress isn't going to do this because it's not popular. And the people who would do it would get voted out. So there's a very low chance of it happening. You follow this stuff and you see the brilliance of this system that was created. It's just the system that we have in America is just absolutely brilliant.
Listen, man, this is part of the gig, and this is part of what Donald Trump's learning experience from the first time should have been. You know, I think Donald Trump, you say you want to drain the swamp. All right. You know what you're talking about, right? You're talking about rolling back the most entrenched power interest in the history of the world.
He doesn't really talk about that much anymore, does he?
So
he doesn't talk about globalists much. I mean, I heard him a little bit, but not a lot. In 2016, it was a strong message. He doesn't talk about draining the swamp much anymore. It wouldn't match with some of his other positions, really.
Not an easy task, and they're going to come at him. If he really is there to drain the swamp, they're going to come at him with everything they've got. You know, Tucker Carlson said, if you want to do this job, you got to be ready to die for it. And I think that's no joke. So we'll see.
It's a dangerous time.
It's a what?
It's a dangerous time. This time between now and this inauguration is a dangerous time.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
he's going to need all of his supporters behind him to let them know that if they try some crazy stuff, that the Second Amendment exists for a reason.
Look, man, this is already such a huge win. And, you know.
Now, let's be clear on the Second Amendment. It's a defense amendment. And I think he went too far with that. You got to be careful, in my opinion. He didn't say anything wrong, but to me, you got to be clear. It is not a proactive amendment. I don't support it in that way, in any way, shape, or form, as proactive, using the Second Amendment type language. We know what that means in response to a political decision. That's not a kinetic decision. If I say, Florida, we don't like what's happening here. I think we're going to make an agreement with Georgia and Alabama and some other states, and we're going to leave the union. And then the federal government sends people in, and you defend yourself. That's the Second Amendment. So you just got to be real clear and precise, in my opinion, with your words. It is not an offensive amendment. It is a defensive amendment.
No, presidential elections are largely symbolic. Do any of you guys, you might know this, but do you know the story of when the Pope visited the Soviet Union? Okay, so the Pope visited the Soviet Union, what was it, in the late 70s, I think, something like that? Is it 80s? So the Pope visits the Soviet Union. You probably know this better than I do, but the rough story of it is that the Pope finally is allowed in to come visit, and just hundreds of thousands of people show up for the Pope. And then it let all these people in the Soviet Union be kind of like, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, there's a lot more of me. It was presidential elections are largely symbolic, but that doesn't mean they're not meaningful. That means a lot. And this symbol right here that you're looking at right there of every power center in the United States of America telling you you're not allowed to support this guy. And then the American people saying, no,
F you.
Screw you, that's our guy. That is just incredibly powerful, man. No matter what else happens.
I agree completely.
It's powerful that we don't believe them.
Yep.
We don't trust them. We know that they're all a bunch of liars. And that's...
This changes everything. It does. I think this does change everything. And you have not heard me use that type of language or verbiage very often. This changes everything, from the media especially. You can't operate the same way. It's not working. So I don't know if they're going to use more, draconian, authoritarian tactics, or they're going to try to appear more based or what. But something is going to change here. We're not going to be on the same path. We're definitely on a whole different world from 2020. And I am surprised because they stole it in 2020. And they stole it in 2022, and it didn't happen this time.
By the way, serious conversation with you. So, you came here tonight not sure what's going to happen. Yeah, some people may be like, I knew for a fact he was going to win. No, you didn't. Not everybody. Everybody was a little bit worried. Now, News Nation just called it. A bunch of people are not calling it's over. Trump won. He's about to hit the stage and give the speech. And we'll watch it here together. By the way, with the crazies that are still here at 1:40 in the freaking morning.
Let's go, baby!
You're crazy, just so you know, and I love it. Right? But watch this. Watch this. Now that he's going to come in and extend the tax cuts, now that he's going to come in, and crypto community's already responded. Where is Bitcoin going to be by the end of 2028? I don't know. Where our taxes are going to be, what's going to happen with the economy, the market, how is Dow and S&P going to respond in the morning? Is S&P going to be like this first thing in the morning? Is Dow going to be like this? But more importantly,
I don't day trade, so I'm long term, so I don't have to worry about I'm up streaming. I can't get up early in the morning looking to worried about. I got 2 kids too. Got to get them to school. I don't have time to. Let me go do my manipulation on my stock.
I will tell you this: for those of you that have families, kids, and dreams. Do not waste the next 4 years. I'm just telling you. Guys, I don't know if you're realizing what statement we're making individually to the world. We, our team, I'm not even kidding with you. Where's Greg at? Is Greg here? Greg's busted his ass. He used to run the WWE events for years, and he used to be the guy that did the biggest event ever for Facebook with 40,000 people. He's run this entire event with his entire team. Jonathan, Bree, Mano, their whole crew. We presented a security team to you guys today where you walked in, there's dogs, all this stuff that's going, what are these cops doing? What's share? Why are there 2 snipers up there? We're making a statement to the world, folks. We brought in talent. Why would he invite him?
Wait,
and
who has
her,
snipers?
But also her.
Did PBD say he had snipers on the roof? What the fuck? Wait, or is he talking about Trump? Wait.
Do not waste the next 4 years. I'm just telling you. Guys, I don't know if you're realizing what statement we're making individually to the world. We, our team, I'm not even kidding with you. Where's Greg at? Is Greg here? Greg's busted his ass. He used to run the WWE events for years, and he used to be the guy that did the biggest event ever for Facebook with 40,000 people. He's run this entire event with his entire team.
Wow.
Jonathan, Bree, Mano, the whole crew.
This whole event, how much do you think this cost? This probably, I mean, we're talking about $1 million at least. I think to pay that dude, maybe $1 million's a little high. But he has an airport there too. I think he probably dropped $1 million on this.
We presented a security team to you guys today where you walked in, there's dogs, all this stuff that's going, what are these cops doing? What's share? Why are there 2 snipers up there?
This nigga at TDD had snipers on the roof. He was not here to play games with you. PBD had snipers. He had snipers on the roof. Wow. Let's see. Jordan Lott says, bro, this is insane. This election is insane, bro. RFK Jr. told the voters not to vote for him in key states, and they did. So funny. Well, it all turned out, man. That's wow. PBD, though, had snipers on the roof. Damn.
Making a statement to the world, folks. We brought in talent. Why would he invite him and her, but also her? Are they not supposed to hate each other? I'm confused, Pat. Why did you invite those 3 people at the same time?
Yeah, I said the same thing, and I just need to shell up. He's the expert. It turned out really well.
Because I like a good conversation.
Yep.
We're making a statement to the world, FYI. We don't know what we're doing with this. The first hour, how many audio issues do we have? Did you not remember what happened at the beginning? This place was 200 degrees. We were all about to melt. You could have cooked, omelet over here if you wanted to. We adjusted. You were patient. I respect you. We got better. Mike's got better. AV did a great job. We're here. What I'm showing you is we as our crew, all of us, we have a plan. What are you going to do next 4 years? FYI, look at this. We started tonight at 6. I tell everybody, like this, it's going to be 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 1:42. By the way, like this, it's 2028. What's going to happen to your family? Like this, it's 2028. So don't join this crowd of going party and kicking back and all this stuff. You put a plan together. You decide what you're doing next. You decide where you and your wife, when you guys are together tomorrow night or this week, having dinner saying, babe, what's going to happen to our family next 4 years? What are we going to be doing? How is this going to impact us? Yes, that guy wanted to become a president. Well, what's going to happen to our last name? That's by far the most important decision everybody that's still watching this tonight and everybody here tonight needs to be making. Whatever company you're a part of, what are you going to do to become a better executive, better leader? If you run a business, how are you going to do this? Because taxes, you have more money. You can reinvest and hire more people. What are you going to be doing? We had dinner earlier, lunch earlier today with the elite masterminds, the elites that were here with us, and I told them something. And Rob, you cut me off anytime if Trump hits the stage, but I want to tell you guys, and I want to challenge every CEO and founder to consider doing this. Hear me out. Raise your hand if you're a CEO or a founder of a company. We have a big business owner audience. I want to challenge you to consider doing this. Once this is final and it's done, have an emergency meeting with your team. This is what I did in 2016. Tikran, you were in the room. Mario was in the room. Tom, you were in the room. My wife was in the room. Everybody was in the room. I pulled everybody inside. At that time, 60% of our employees at home office were African American. 50% were women at our home office. They came in. They did not want Trump. They were all wearing the shirt, "I'm with her." And they knew where I leaned. I said, "Come into my office. I want to talk to you guys." Everybody came in. We were still a smaller company at the time, 2015, 2016. I said, "Hey, how do you feel about what happened last night? I know she lost." And they were openly talking. "I'm upset, I'm hurt." A couple were crying. I said, "Let me tell you what just happened. Let me explain how this works. He's gonna lower my taxes, and the corporate taxes are gonna go down. It's gonna allow me to reinvest more into the company. This is good for everybody. So guess what I'm doing today right now for everybody?" They're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I've decided I want to give $100 for every month you've ever been with the company." They looked at us, they're like, "Are you serious?" I said, "But there's one caveat." They said, "What's that?" I said, "You have to put on Facebook that Trump gave you this bonus." They're like, no, I'm just kidding. HR wouldn't let me get away with that. What's the point? You have an opportunity to go around your employees and show them what a tax cut really does and who it benefits. The people that are working with you. Let them feel it. Let them see it. This is how you change somebody's mind in 4 years, where they realize tax cut benefits everybody. Not if you just take the tax cuts. I know it's not a popular decision for millionaires and billionaires, but if you have a chance to do it, surprise your employees and give them something and let them know why. It's called economics. I have more money to invest into you. If you don't want to give that kind of money, put a party together, take them somewhere, show them a good time. We're doing this because we got these benefits. So my message to everybody, you, your wife, your husband, your kids, your family should be in a very good place in the next 4 years, but you could still screw it up if you don't put a plan together for you and your family.
Good thoughts.
John F. Kennedy lowered the taxes. You know what he said in his speech when he lowered the taxes? You know what he said when he lowered the taxes?
Cold.
This is your chance to make some money and create wealth for your family.
Yep.
Don't get it twisted. The next 4 years, your family should get richer, and that's okay. If you got $20,000 in the bank, in 4 years, you should have 100. If you got $13,000 in the bank, in the next 4 years, you should have a plan to have 200,000. If you got 500,000, have 5 million. If you got $1 million, go to 10 million. Do not waste the next 4 years, because who knows what's going to happen in 4 years. Okay, I want to make sure I give that message to everybody with family business owners to make the right decisions. It's just a message for some of you guys. Rob, how are we looking? He's not up yet. Can you imagine you're 78 years old? You should be the first person to say it's 1:47. Let me get up and give the speech and leave.
Fox News just called
Fox News called it. Trump elect 47th president.
Let's go, baby!
What a weird night.
Wow.
What a night.
To win non-consecutive terms. The first was Grover Cleveland in the late 1800s.
He's still not coming up.
Senator J.D. Vance.
He still doesn't want to come up and hit the stage.
He's
going to make you wait another 20 minutes.
Voters express deep frustration with the Biden administration and President Trump and the future President
Rob,
Trump.
are you seeing anything from our friends at MSNBC or CNN? Has anybody needed to call their therapist?
Can somebody check on Rachel Maddow?
CNN just experiencing some technical problems. They're offline. They're offline.
Wisconsin just called. This is amazing.
By the way, another thing, respect. These guys have been sitting, you haven't gone to the bathroom once in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Strong bladder community.
And the question is, do you guys have any news about the Nero? Is he at the airport? Any news?
Oh, yeah.
He's still here.
Is he at the airport?
Probably on the way to the
Is he
airport.
packed at least? At least start
I was
packing.
doing a podcast 6 months ago saying Trump was going to win. I know others might not have doubt. I had no doubt. I'm out every day talking to people. I also know the power of God. And I knew these evil people could not stay in power here in the United States of America. This country was ordained by God. No devil.
Agree.
No goon. No satanic spirit is going to destroy the United States of America. These people were evil. And now America has found its footing again. And we're going to become that shining city on the hill again. So I had no doubt. You can go to my podcast, the Vince Everett Ellison Show, and I told people 6 months ago Donald Trump was going to win and the black vote was going to give it to him. And that's what happened tonight.
Okay, guys, we got a highlight reel from tonight. Some of you guys are featured in it. Rob, if you're ready, show it to us on how this started and how it's ending. For the rest of our lives, we will share this night together.
Yeah.
For the rest of our lives.
Yep.
Here's the highlight from tonight. Go ahead, Rob. Play the clip. Roberto, please play the clip.
30 seconds. Did you ever think you would make it? I feel
What is that?
I could take sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
I like that hat. That's sharp. Future looks bright. I like that.
Baby.
Let's go. Yes. And we're calling Georgia. Georgia. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I feel I'm so close I could taste it. I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
She can still win. Okay.
They did that editing on the fly? Wow.
That's it, man. That's it. Donald Trump's president.
That's a wrap. It's over.
It's over.
Wow.
Damn, PBD.
Future looks bright, baby.
PBD has mixtapes being made as it's going on. My goodness.
Wow.
He is showing out.
Rob, who edited that?
Yeah.
Who?
Daniel.
Where's Daniel?
Fire.
Daniel, you the man.
A fire edit as the event's going on. My goodness.
To see who's our best editor. Daniel's in the discussion right now. Good for you, Daniel. You came through. And
do you know how long it would take me for me to do that edit?
Can you post that on Twitter, Rob? And I'm going to retweet
Yeah.
it. Put it on PVD Podcast tweet. What a freaking video. Good.
That's
Special
crazy.
night. By the way, how many guys would like to see us do this again 4 years from now?
Do it tomorrow.
FYI,
Shoot, this shit
the
is
only
lit.
difference is we're going to have probably 20, 30,000 people, and we may want to do it in a different place, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of surprises coming for the future.
He's rising
Rob,
up to the top
do
right
we
now.
have any updates, Rob? I said 20 minutes. That's 6 minutes into it.
Because
this
he's
man's going to drag it as much as he wants because he's enjoying it right now. He's probably listening to
No,
his
he doesn't
Ryan
want to drag it
Seacrest
out.
song.
He's tired.
He's
Trust me.
probably
I'm
talking
tired.
to
He's
Mark.
tired.
Listen to his Sinead O'Connor. It's one of his favorite songs. I don't know what he's doing, but he'll hit the stage here any minute
Well,
now.
I think they're
Adam, you've
finalizing
been
the
quiet.
speech probably, but I don't know where
As
he
a
is.
guy that's been quiet, I don't like when they put baby in the corner. For a guy like Adam, why don't you come up here, switch your seat with Vinny real quick.
Adam, come up.
4 years ago, you voted for President Biden.
Check.
You were a major advocate of President Biden.
Who was a
Check.
Biden
Walk away,
advocate
guys. He got nervous.
in 2020?
Fine. Adam.
Who's advocating
How
for
are
Joe
you
Biden
feeling
in
right
2020?
now, Adam Saw Snake?
I don't know, Joe Biden's
America.
What are you thinking?
I think, how y'all feeling out there, by the way? I think this was just obvious.
They can't hear you, Adam. Here.
So, Mic check. We're good. Honestly, I just think this was completely obvious. I think the Democrats have gone so out of control
Yeah.
that any rational, common sense person
even my wife
would
didn't
just
vote
see
for
the
her.
obvious thing. You have no idea how many texts I'm getting from my Democrat friends and being like, you were right. How'd you know? Man, you called it. I'm like, how'd you not call it? How'd you not see this? This was so blatantly obvious. So what's my message to the Democrats out there? You have to get out of your bubble. This is a absolute mandate. For Trump's Hitler didn't work.
Yeah, stop with that.
They're all
Just stop
garbage.
that.
It didn't work.
Just stop.
Democracy's going to never work again. Didn't work.
Doesn't work.
At what point do you say, wow, I maybe need to look in the mirror and realize I was lied to for 8 years about this guy, and you're going to keep doubling down on he's the worst thing ever? You can criticize Trump, but you can't criticize the millions of Americans who love this country and recognize that Trump is the messenger for their message of making America great again and again. So respect to him.
They just called.
And this is coming from someone.
Wow.
If you told me in 2016 that I would vote for Trump, I'd be like, am I?
For Trump?
You're on drugs? But that's how far gone the Democrats have.
They
gone.
just
It's
called
crazy.
Wisconsin for Trump, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was that?
They just called Wisconsin for Trump. Right? Trump just won Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's over.
And PBD.
That's a wrap. That's a landslide.
I wanted to say one thing to Cenk. You know what I've never seen? Cenk's the only person I can think of. You know, they say that when you're, young, if you're not a liberal, you have no heart. You know this whole thing. Everyone has to go through this progression as you make money and have a family and have things and have more responsibilities.
That's a
you go
fact.
through this. Cenk is the only person that comes to mind. He said this on the first podcast we did, Pat. He was a conservative when he was young, and he's gone. I think Cenk was literally about to cry at some point when Dominic dropped the mic on him.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
Did you feel that from him? Do you understand that?
Yeah,
Candace,
I felt
did you
it too.
recognize that?
Yeah.
I don't know how you go from being a conservative to a liberal. Do you know anybody that's ever done that?
It's not. It's not.
I think it's important
It's
to
not
reiterate
authentic, I
what
don't
Dave
think.
said about Donald Trump. We're a republic that is loyal to the Constitution, not to a man. This is not ruled by man. This is ruled by law. And it's a very important distinction. Donald Trump was elected fair and square, but it doesn't mean it's a cult of personality. And don't fall into that trap. Keep questioning even your own side.
Yeah, the indictment is a waste. I mean, not the indictment. The sentencing coming up in November. That's done. That's just dismiss the case. They can still the judge can still dismiss the case. It's done. I mean, nobody has an appetite for it. They went way too far. It's an indictment on everything. I am very surprised that you would try to kill Trump. You would try to arrest Trump. That means make him a slave, enslave him, imprison him. They knew it wasn't a high likelihood that he would, but try to smear his name, make him waste money on lawyers, and you can't fix the election. Now you lose. It's over. All that stuff is done. You can't do that anymore.
You sit in your own echo chamber and you surround yourself only with people that see the world the way you see it. It's a great way to go from thinking you have all the answers to knowing you have all the answers. And that's another way of saying you're dumb. So don't fall for that either. So always expose yourself to people that disagree with you so that you can test the foundation on which you stand. Very important.
And look, I know I said this earlier, but y'all please remember this. Tomorrow, they're going to spin this to say that Kamala Harris lost because of racism and because of misogyny.
I don't know if they will.
Don't give a damn what they say.
I saw Joey Reid did that already, but I don't know. I don't know if they can. You might hear some people do that, but I don't know if that's going to be a theme. I think this is going to be an indictment on the Democrat Party.
Don't care about it. You need to know that the rest of America knows that that is a lie. They're going to try to make you think that America thinks that. America knows better than that. They know why this woman lost.
Yep.
She was not a good candidate. She lied about everything. Her party was an evil institution. They were crazy. You can go into any ghetto in America, and they've seen what they've done to the black community. They control every failing school, every whorehouse, every crack house. John Kennedy stood in front of the Berlin Wall and said, if you want to see how great communism is, let them come to Berlin. Well, if you want to see how good the Democratic Party is, let them come to Philadelphia. Come to D.C., L.A., New York, San Francisco, everywhere they rule. Death, destruction, and mayhem. And the American people got tired of it. So when they try to say it was racism or that she was a woman, tell them, I don't care what you think. We're just glad she didn't win.
I mean, it's just incredible. Everything, just thinking about the fact that this was a referendum on Obama. Like Obama came out and spoke to people and people said no. But I want to say this, like, quite seriously. 4 years ago, in 2020, I had no kids. It's an incredible thing to think about. I had 0 children, and now I have 3 children. And I'm so serious when I say that I was so concerned about Kamala winning that my husband and I were having serious discussions about what will happen, what can we do, what is our option. And I know that we're not the only family that truly thought about where will we go if America turns into a communist country. That's a very scary realization that we got this close, that would even be a concern and a conversation, that you're looking at a map of the world and thinking like,
well, Candace,
are we
really
going to be one of the ones that can get out? It's very scary, you know, and that's where we were at. And for the
no, that's not even a hyperbole for Candace. She really had to consider those. She has to have contingency plans still.
First time that feels like in a long time, so many families across America are going to be able to sleep soundly tonight, knowing that they don't have to have that fear for the next 4 years. It's incredible. It really is an incredible evening. And, you know, I think one of the things that's going to be interesting to see is how they pivot, because the game is over.
Yeah.
The game is over. They threw everything at the wall. They tried to create a candidate out of thin air. This used to work for them. A Beyonce endorsement used to work for them, and it's no longer working. And I think one of the most incredible stories is going to be Black America, and I have to tell you how good I feel about that, because when I said it years ago that we were going to Blexit, that people could do this, and I'm not kidding, people at that time that were in the Trump campaign that aren't in it now nearly laughed me out of the room with Charlie Kirk. They said it's not even a thought that Black men and women wouldn't vote for, you know, that we'll turn away from the Democratic Party. And for the first time, we are seeing tonight that Black Americans are done with the plantation narrative. So
well, have we seen the numbers?
Night all around. Be excited, be happy.
Have we seen the numbers?
I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon about all of this.
There's a famous phrase called "future looks bright." I think that's what Candace is saying. The future looks bright after what happened tonight.
Did he coin
literally,
that? I like that phrase. It's a great phrase.
You know, there's a few ways of looking at this, right? From the business standpoint, you got to be ready. Things are going to change. From the business model standpoint, I'm just telling you guys, CNN just got a very, very lucky situation that happened for them. Trump winning means CNN and MSNBC are going to do okay the next 4 years.
Yeah,
that's true.
Trump winning means SNL, it's back to only making fun of Trump every day.
Yeah.
CNN winning, I mean, Trump winning, Alec Baldwin's coming back as a Trump again twice a week. Trump winning is a lot of businesses, celebrity reactions, all that stuff. But also, the other part of it to think about, who was it today? Are they still here or they left? Not Sebastian from Australia who flew. We have guys that flew here from out of the country to just come to tonight's podcast. Where is the gentleman who was worried about what was going to happen tonight? Our pessimistic friend.
Yeah.
Where is he at? How you feeling right now, huh? You were freaking out earlier, right? But we were having a conversation with the crew earlier. What do you think is going to happen? What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Guys, there are a lot of people that are burned out thinking politics. How many guys just want to be like, dude, I'm not going to turn on shit for politics for a couple weeks. I need a break.
Well, they've been living it. I mean, I have too, but I'm not tired.
No, what I'm saying to you is,
we're just getting started.
It's going to be a rough season for some people the next 6 to 12 months if they can't adjust. Because I think a big part of America the next 6 to 12 months wants to be entertained. They want less chaos, less stress, less politics. They kind of want to be a little bit more of, hey, what am I going to do next with my family and my life? I know it's not what some people want to hear that are out there listening to this.
No, I think that's good to mix it up.
But I think there's a faction of people, Dave, that kind of are a little bit burned out with Trump versus Kamala, Biden versus Trump, all this other stuff.
Normies.
Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think?
No, I think you're right.
Well, so the point that you made about CNN's and MSNBC's ratings, right? It is certainly true that during Trump's first term, he was very good for their business. I am not convinced that it's going to work the same way again.
Really?
And I think that one of the listen, so much of what drove those ratings was the Russiagate nonsense. And they were saying that they had the biggest story in the biggest scandal in the history of the United States of America. I mean, no exaggeration. They were saying that that a foreign power overturned our elections and that the current sitting president of the United States of America was in on it. Like, he was involved in a conspiracy with the Russians to overturn the election. I mean, that's a big story if true. And everybody who hated Donald Trump, it was just handed to them. Like, here's a new thing. You don't even have to feel like you lost the election. Guess what? You didn't. They cheated. And then when that turned out to be all lies, and then, on top of that, like the Hunter Biden story, but really the biggest one is COVID. Getting COVID wrong the whole way through.
And then
that's why the media had no power this election cycle to say, hey, this guy's a Nazi or whatever.
The only reason I didn't go with that is because the midterms, we didn't see that type of reaction. But midterms are different than general elections. This was the first general election since I missed that. I was looking at the midterms, because I thought that's why I was so sure it was going to be a red wave in the midterms, because of it was the first time to vote after the pandemic, and a lot of people don't care about voting in the midterms. I know they stole it with FTX and all that, but it was more than that, and I missed that. The general election is different than the midterm. You can't really use the midterm. The indictment of COVID, I think, kind of did come. Even people didn't want to put it on Trump because they're so, they didn't want to knock down their guy. But overall, I think this is partly an indictment on COVID.
Everyone's like, yeah, dude, we figured you out. And I really don't think they're going to be able to recreate that. I don't know.
That's a good take.
I think it's going to be very hard for the anti-Trump people to recreate.
That's a good take. I got to think about it. That's a great take. Because I was thinking just like Patrick Bet-David, this is good for their business. Yeah, I think Dave has a great point there. I don't know if it will work this time. They'll have to drum up another big thing, but nobody trusts them at this point. They don't have a big thing. I think Dave has a really good point here.
The same hysteria of 2017, like the Me Too hysteria and all that. I think it's going to be very hard to recreate that.
Right.
Because we've already seen through the bullshit.
Yeah.
So how they're going to try. I really don't. I don't know how successful
They're not
it's gonna be.
creative. They're just not that creative.
Yeah, Dave's right. I mean, thinking about how Dave broke it down there, that's a great take. I'm mad I didn't think about that first. But that's a great take. I abandoned my earlier take where I thought, oh, this is good for business for them. I think that's a better take. And I think it might even fuel the right-wing podcasts, what you would call right-wing. I think that it'll actually bring more people into the podcast space. So what the mainstream would have to do, that's a funny look to stop it on, what the mainstream would have to do is they would have to become more based. And maybe they can get some people back. They'll have to get back that trust. Dave's right. Getting the pandemic wrong, and everybody knows that they got it wrong, and they never acknowledged it, but still come on the mic every day as if they're righteous. I don't know if it works.
Yeah.
They're just not. Yeah.
By the way, Rob, can you pull up, guys? This is why Elon Musk has got a sense of humor. This is what he just tweeted right now.
What did he put?
Who remembers this picture when he walked into Twitter headquarters?
See, you look at this too, and I like MSNBC's coverage. When I first came here, I was looking for MSNBC. I'm so glad I didn't find it. And PBD's better now, even with Steve Kornacki. PBD's got, very interesting people on, different perspectives, authentic perspectives, better energy with the live crowd. And then he's pulling up tweets. They're not doing that on MSNBC. They got to revamp that whole thing. This is what MSNBC should be right now. The corporate media's they have to revamp that whole operation.
This is him with the kitchen sink walking into the White House.
Yes,
Oh,
that is so good.
Is it a meme?
What a great tweet. I love that he trolls.
Oh, that's
I just
dope.
love that he
That's a dope
trolls.
meme. that's a dope meme.
Can I, BBD, can I give a shout out to Candace real quick? So Candace, I don't know if you're going to remember this, but we had a conversation maybe a year ago, and we talked about how the world was going crazy, and you used a word, you said equilibrium, and that the world was just so out of whack, and that, I mean, I don't want to do, injustice to what you said, is that the world yearns for equilibrium.
Let that
And
sink in.
There's corrections that are needed, but then there's overcorrections, like a man's a woman,
Yeah.
or Trump should be in jail,
Yep.
whatever it may be.
Yeah,
I think
stop.
this is sort of justification that this is equilibrium kind of coming back into place. And I
Yep.
said earlier tonight, this is Trump's hero's journey. And the arc of Trump, this is sort of a storybook ending for Trump. The narrative that he was Hitler or that he was a Russian asset, it's all been exposed. COVID exposed everything. He opened the curtain, so to speak, and nobody's buying it. Beyonce, nobody's buying it. Mark Cuban, nobody's buying it. J-Lo, sorry, save your tears. The American people are just like, we'll take Trump. And now he gets round 2 to actually enact his laws, his policies, and it looks like he's going to have the Senate and most likely the House. And it's Trump's world at this point. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, listen, that really is, you're just thinking about that biography. I mean, there's never going to be another president like Donald Trump. I mean, this man has been a royal pain in their asses since day one. You don't see a guy that survives what he's survived. A full media onslaught. They never let up. They use the Department of Justice.
Man, there's no commercials, too. Man, I kind of want to speed ahead to see if Trump's speaking. Oh, yeah, Trump is speaking now. I'll speed ahead to that. But it's just so good up to this point. I'm going to speed ahead to Trump. Trump got on the stage. Let's fast forward to him walking up.
Obviously, he's got his own unique style, and he speaks in his language. But I also think, when we were talking about this earlier, I think Jim Messina was talking about it, that Democrats had made the decision to basically just campaign to be anti-Trump.
Yeah,
and for the last 10 years, it's been primarily anti-Trump.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
It's just not working. The not Trump.
Yeah,
he's a
it's
bad
not
guy.
working.
He's this. He's that. It's just not working anymore.
No.
They literally have to go
Because
back to seeing what policies are going to.
What are you about? It's not really policy. People don't know policy. It's just like, what are you about? You just keep saying anti-Trump, anti-Trump. But he was already president. They already know him. It's just terrible strategy.
He hitting the stage. Okay, go ahead, Rob. The man is hitting the stage.
Here he comes.
Who will be the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump?
Look at Barron Trump. The dude is like a giant. My goodness. This nigga's like he's like 2 feet taller than everybody. Trump's like 6'3".
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say,
Mike Johnson. Oh.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Trump is a boss, man. He's so smooth.
Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends in this incredible movement.
Watch him. He's going to be gracious, too. Watch.
Nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But
that's almost Obama 08. Obama 08, I think, was 324.
But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And, winning the popular vote was very nice. Very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back Control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races. And I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that, nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady.
Well, he did not say anything gracious about Kamala. I'm good with him not. I'm surprised he didn't, though.
Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job. Works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great help. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous. And we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Bez. And he's a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp. And you know, the enemy camp is certain networks. And a lot of people don't like that. Sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay.
Yeah.
Which one? CNN, MSDNC?
Yeah. He's smart.
He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks fun.
Yeah.
He's like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it, and then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them.
He's very smart. Him, Vivek.
Say a couple of words here.
Him, Vivek. You know, that crew, they're very smart. Hey, JD, how tall is he?
Wow.
He's not Trump's height, is he?
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey.
He is.
I
He's
thank you for
6'2".
the trust that you placed in me.
Wow.
And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America.
It's not really a comeback, though. He never lost. I mean, it was never gone.
And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was
little clap back.
I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country, and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come,
Here we go.
Come here, Susie. Chris.
Oh, no.
Come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The ice maiden. We call her the ice maiden. Come here, Chris. Come here, Chris.
She lost weight. I haven't seen her in a while.
Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, Susie.
Oh, God. Oh,
this wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate, and he's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team that we had, the best team, and, of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles.
Get the hell
best.
out of here.
Thank you.
You have the best political talent of our lifetime, one of the best ever. Get the hell off the stage.
I've never seen her be shot before. Susie.
Get the hell off the stage.
Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh,
Elon.
Let me tell you, we have a new star.
Wow.
A star is born, Elon.
Wow. He should be a star. I mean, he should be an American star.
Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and
he did a lot.
Parts of Pennsylvania campaigning.
He did. He went hard.
You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago.
Elon went hard.
And I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And but I saw it come down and turn around, and it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning, and I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor, do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space-age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash, and then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and it put it straight, and it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it, and just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see, and I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina, they were really devastated. The water, this was a big water, as big as we've ever seen water.
You could
hurricane.
argue
It
this
built
is
lakes out
fascism,
of
though.
Nothing. Fields became lakes.
Government and business
and
partnership.
The danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, and I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's a fantastic golfer, slightly longer than me. It's a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace.
How did he get?
What happened to Bryson?
How did he get a shot?
Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson. Oh, look at him. He's got a great career going. Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic job. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job.
Yeah, Dana White's been just unbelievably good.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he's been great.
So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him Marines because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went, and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it, and it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words because people love to hear from him. Dana,
please. Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard-working man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelt boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, Bussin' with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
that is a piece of work. No, he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like really, probably like no other. This was something special, and we're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's got to be turned around. It's got to be turned around fast, and we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna do it in every way, with so many ways, but we're gonna do it in every way. This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country. So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hard-working people. These are fantastic people, and we can add a few names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came in. And he's going to help make America healthy again. And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but, Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia.
Is he there or not?
Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, go have a good time, Bobby.
Trump is too
We're
good.
going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight. When you think, I mean, I was looking at it, I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all quarters, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from the, can you imagine? 901 something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises.
Wow.
Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is.
I'm live.
It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite.
No, it's not. No.
And we're going to try. We're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term when we became more and more successful. People started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it. Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, by the way, I counted. He started at 2:26, finished at 2:52. It's 26 minutes, under 30 minutes. That's pretty impressive. Make some noise for Candace. Hey. Can we take a selfie for the crazy crew that stuck around till now? I'm so proud of you guys. Can you come around here? Everybody here, come on the stage. You guys, now you guys, hang on, I want these guys. Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. You guys got to get in because you guys work your asses off. Come on in. Get to my left. And maybe, you know, David, if you take it, let's take a picture. This is insane.
Come on.
Broke YouTube tonight. Literally, we broke YouTube
I didn't
tonight.
expect to be going to bed this early,
Can
man.
you get up and get this?
I mean, from the...
Maybe I got to say this on one
Trump
of the
ramped this
videos.
up.
You got me here? Yes?
You know, somebody told me that, you know, somebody reminded me that there's only been a handful of elections that took more than a day to kind of wrap
All
up.
right, so check this out.
It's not normal what happened in 2020.
Ready? What time did we start tonight? Are we ready? It's 2:54 a.m. in the morning, and these crazy people are still here tonight. Holy freaking moly. What a night.
It was a good night for PBD, man.
What a night.
PBD kind of raised up. I'm just gonna get some sleep, man, because there's so much to talk about. If you're a Trump supporter, obviously, it's great, and I'm happy for the Trump supporters, and I'm going to give him a chance to do what he does. I like what he said. He said, I'm going to keep my promises, because he made a lot of promises to a lot of different people. And we'll see, you know, how he keeps that. But it's a good day for the Trump supporters. I obviously prefer Trump over Kamala, even though he doesn't meet the standards that I would want for. I voted for Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. But respect to Trump. I've never been a kind of anti-Trump person. I just didn't like the direction where he's going. But now he's won. Now we will see. There won't be any question or doubt about what he's going to do in this country or that country or day one. We're going to see, and it'll be on wax. It's old school for saying it's on record. It's on literally the record, and we will see it and be able to analyze it. And wish Trump the best of success. And at least we won't have to watch a gay version of the Nutcracker. I'm still salty about that, man. That gay version of the Nutcracker was a complete insult to Tchaikovsky and music fans. I know I kind of took a hard left. When I saw Melania and how beautiful she does the Christmas in the White House, and obviously that won't be for this one, but after they take over. But at least we won't have that. We might have that. Well, we're not going to have that this year. There won't be. This mandate will actually affect this year. There's not going to be any gay version of anything at the White House. It's going to be more respectable, and that's a good direction. That's a better direction than Kamala, that's for sure. We'll see how substantive it is. And we are going to see it's going to be tough because Trump is going to see a lot of fighting for jockeying of positions. I did not like to see Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita on the stage. I do not give them credit for anything that they have done. I give credit to the head honcho. Donald Trump is the politician. Donald Trump is the one. Donald Trump didn't even get things right with the campaign until he got pushed to. You can say what you want, but Guerrilla War II was a part of it. And I think that's when the campaign got right. They brought back Corey Lewandowski. And I think that's when Alex Brucevic came back, Laura Loomer came back, and Trump was doing banger after banger when Laura came back. That was not an accident. And I think that just finished it off. So he had the balance of the wider tent, and people, I will fully admit, though, I don't know if I ever said the wider tent wouldn't work. The wider tent just dilutes the product. It's like you went to the store, you got a 2-liter of Sprite, and you need to spread it out to, it's only going to feed so many people. You got 1,000 people, so you keep watering it down so you have enough to put a cup. But by the time I get it and it's watered down, I don't like it. It tastes nasty. You did what it's supposed to do. You got the tent wider, you got people to vote, but the product was watered down. But all that's off the table for me right now. That's all done. He's here. We will be able to judge what he's done, what he is doing, and what he won't do. And we will see real quick, day one. He's the one that said, day one, noon, I'm going to root anti-Semitism out. That means he's going to do an executive order. We'll have to analyze those executive orders. But one of them should be commuting Ross Ulbricht. I think day one should already be talking right now, J6ers. Get them all up out of there. Every single one. I don't care what they did. There's no need for vetting. There's no need for that. They got entrapped. We don't even know how much. Get them all up out of there. We're moving on. I don't want to hear bull about unity if you're not going to do that, especially. I don't want to hear nothing about unity if you're not going to go in and pardon or commute. I don't even really know the difference. I have to look it up. Pardon or commute their sentence. Basically kind of saying time served is my understanding. But that's exciting to see that there's some possibilities there with Kamala. There was no possibilities. It is fair to question the fascism. I mean, it is fascism when you have Elon Musk teaming up with Donald Trump, and they've got this buddy-buddy relationship, and Elon Musk has the biggest, the best company in the world, in the U.S., probably in the world too. But we'll see if they use that power. The fascism was used against them. The fascism can be used back. So I'm not even necessarily against that, but we have to see what they do. And I am against it if we don't see a prioritization. Why would Elon change it? He's not going to. Of changing the terms of conditions on X to be the leader on free speech. Trump did one of his first policy positions that I broke down. This is, 2023? Was it 2020, late 2023? About a year ago, on the Digital Rights Act. So there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, it has to go through legislative. It has to go through the legislative process. But I need to see you do that work now, and that's more important than a wall or anything. I need that done now. I don't care about if you can't get the free speech right. You know, it's the 1A and the 2A. If you can't get the free speech right, if you can't make that the mantra, then I don't care about the illegals coming across, because you're not going to leave anything to allow the next generation to continue the fight. The next generation can't continue the movement or take the movement where it needs to be without free speech. So that's got to be the number one thing. You can't fight this thing if it's going to be hidden under algorithms. But Eric Smith says 2020 was awful, and I don't want to experience it again. Yeah, and it's good. It was an anomaly. It's proven now. I was not sure. I should have known it was an anomaly. The midterm is what threw me off. The midterm was where I expected to say, oh, here's the red wave. 2020 was the anomaly, and then Trump, will come back in 2024. The midterm is what really threw me off. Royce White was great. He didn't win, though. Who else was out there? Kerry Lake was losing last I saw, but I only saw 36% in Arizona when I last looked. I'm going to take a quick little check-in on the Senate. Let's see what's going on with Carrie Lake, and I'll be out. Get some sleep. This is good. This is earlier than I thought. I'm happy with that. I'm good with that. I did not expect this. Nick said he probably, he was preparing to stream for days. He probably turned his stream off by now. I didn't get to watch Nick because PBD was lit. Okay, let's see. Ruben Gallego, they did not call it looks like here, so they're still unpacking it. See how much we're in. It wasn't looking good for Carrie Lake. Okay, yeah, it's still not looking good for Carrie Lake. Looks like she's down 5. Looks like she's down about 5% with 57% reporting. It all matters of where that's coming from. Is it coming from the blue areas? I don't understand how Donald Trump wins and Carrie Lake doesn't win. I just don't understand that. It just doesn't make sense to me. I've heard all the people, the explanations. I think it might come down to the woman thing. I don't know, but I don't think that matters in the Senate. I really don't think that matters in the Senate. She softened her campaign, so it wasn't that. Maybe she shouldn't have softened it. I don't know. I didn't follow it closely enough. That's disappointing. And she's Zio too, and I'm still disappointed. I just don't understand how she's a better version of Trump, to be honest with you. I mean, she has the same political instincts. She's more polished. She's pretty much out there. She can debate bro anybody. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. She's associated with Trump. I don't understand how she loses to Ruben Gallego. I know the money was a problem. I think she had money. She got outspent, I think. The Republicans didn't want her in there. Like Mike Johnson. I hate seeing Trump give Mike Johnson credit, Susie Wiles, Chris LaSavita, speak Susie. Nobody want to hear from them. That's why Susie was like, no, I'm not. I know people don't like me. I'm the chess mover behind the scenes. Well, it looks like Carrie Lake's gone. It's only 57% reporting, so it's not over there. But yeah, fun night, memorable night. We'll never forget this night. But I'm gonna be out. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be out, and I'll be on sometime tomorrow. That's for sure. Peace.